Chapter 390. Everyone's discussion was in full swing. It seemed like they all wanted to give it a try. To a martial artist, there was nothing more important than improving their strength. On the contrary, low-ranked martial artists were not as anxious as high-ranked ones. The higher one's rank was, the more one would understand the magnitude of the crisis facing humanity. Now, it was already at its limit to maintain this situation. As time passed, as the powerhouses in the catacombs increased, as Monster Life and the Monster Plant clan gradually reached an agreement, if this continued, humanity would be in danger. For many people, it was extremely difficult to break through to the next realm. Therefore, it was very important to become stronger in the same realm. Seeing that everyone was eager to try, Fong Ping coughed dryly and said, Actually, it's still very difficult. Don't worry, I'll give it a try. Let's give it a try. At most, I'll just suffer some injuries. How would you know if you don't try? Several people spoke up one after another, including the two rank 9s. Fong Ping looked embarrassed. Fine, there was no point in saying anything now. No matter how difficult it was, these guys would probably want to try it anyway. Fong Ping did not care about their discussion. There was no harm in trying. Most of the time, miracles happen unintentionally. At this moment, Fong Ping was still thinking about celestiality. Wealth points could be converted into celestiality. Having an additional function was a good thing. Celestiality's lethality was still very high. Moreover, the celestiality he had condensed now was little. If he spent more wealth, he should be able to condense more. If he really threw it out like a bomb and gathered enough, it might not be any weaker than a rank 7 powerhouse's attack. This was actually equivalent to a trump card that could injure high ranks. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for a middle-rank martial artist like Fong Ping to injure a high-rank martial artist. Old Man Li was a peak rank 6, half a golden body, and had nurtured his sword for 10 years with so many conditions combined. If that sword had encountered a rank 7 alone, he might not have been able to kill the other party. The gap between the realms was too wide. Old Man Li was not the only one who could kill a rank 8. Zhang Dingnan was almost beaten to death. This was the result of a rank 7 powerhouse holding him back with all his might. But the power of heaven and earth is too strong. I can't bear it now. When he condensed celestiality, Fong Ping also had to bear the backlash of this kind of power. His physique was not weak, comparable to a peak rank 5 powerhouse. However, the backlash from the power of heaven and earth was also very difficult for him to endure. It would be fine if it was just a little less, but if it was too much, he would probably be heavily injured. Apart from being a trump card, is there any other use? Just as Fong Ping was pondering over this question, Old Man Li stopped drawing circles and approached him to ask, when your mentality and vitality are converted into celestiality, what's the ratio? What? Fong Ping was at a loss. That is, how much mind energy and vitality force did I spend, and how much power of heaven and earth was condensed? Fong Ping asked hurriedly. Does celestiality have a unit of measurement too? Of course. Old Man Li knew that he did not understand, so he explained, in order to better measure and judge a powerhouse's ability, a quantitative unit is the most convenient way to determine a powerhouse's strength. If there's an equation, then I can give you a theoretical equation. 10 Hz mentality plus 100 calories vitality force equals 1C celestiality. Wheels? Why do you care about Lin? Do you understand what I mean? Fong Ping nodded. In other words, I have to consume 100 calories of vitality to fuse into 1C celestiality, right? Yes. What about the difference in destructive power? About 5 times or so. Old Man Li continued. If you fuse vitality force and mentality into celestiality, 1C celestiality is at least equivalent to a 500 calories vitality outburst. This doesn't conform to the law of conservation of energy. Fong Ping mumbled, 100 calories vitality plus 10 Hz mentality resulted in a 500 calories vitality outburst. Old Man Li's face was full of black lines. He said exasperatedly, Bullsh *T law. Even if it really exists, it means that you didn't unleash the full strength of your vitality force earlier. Do you understand? The power of your chi and blood isn't at its peak yet. It's like a hand grenade. If you throw it directly without detonating, how much destructive power can it cause? But if you explode it, then you can unleash its full power. The same goes for vitality force. By fusing with mentality, you can unleash an even greater force. This is celestiality. Fong Ping understood. Old Man Li's explanation was easy to understand. There was nothing he did not understand. After thinking for a moment, Fong Ping continued, in other words, if I expended 2,000 calories vitality earlier, after conversion, it would be 20C celestiality. The destructive power should be increased by 5 times, comparable to a 10,000 cal vitality outburst, right? Yes. Fong Ping frowned instantly. I don't think so. If that's really the case, I can kill a rank 6 with a 10,000 cal vitality outburst. Earlier, he had expended close to 2 million wealth points. After conversion to vitality force, it was also 2,000 calories vitality. According to Old Man Li's theory, the energy ball he threw earlier should have a 10,000 cal vitality outburst strength. What a joke! If it was really that powerful, he could kill a rank 6 with just one energy bomb. Old Man Li coughed dryly. I said, it's like that in theory. In reality, powerhouses can achieve a perfect fusion. The degree of control over the power needs to reach an extreme, perverse level. Under normal circumstances, this can't be done. Therefore, the actual consumption should be higher. Fong Ping was speechless. He still frowned. This power was not fused by him, but by the system. The system should be quite reliable, right? Why could it not achieve a perfect fusion? No, maybe the celestiality that he had just fused did not even have 20C. Fong Ping immediately turned his head to look at Wu Chuan. Senior Wu, the celestiality that I fused just now, roughly how strong is it? About 2 or 3C, Wu Chuan replied casually. The corner of Fong Ping's eyes twitched slightly. He understood now. Expending 2 million wealth points, which was enough to replenish 2,000 calories vitality, ultimately only fused into about 2C celestiality, 1/10 of the ratio. Or rather, 10 times the consumption. This, perhaps, was the price that the system wanted him to pay. After all, he was not a rank 7 martial artist. He knew that the system would not be so generous. If it was 2C, then it would be easy to understand. 1C celestiality, theoretically, was equivalent to 500 calories vitality outburst. The energy bomb that he threw earlier only had 1,000 cal vitality outburst strength. Fong Ping himself could easily achieve the same result with this kind of strength. Looks like I can only use it as a trump card. I can only use it when I encounter martial artists who are stronger than me. If they're weaker than me, I might as well kill them myself. It's a cost-performance issue. However, if he really encountered a powerhouse, the possibility of him escaping was higher. Who would be so stupid as to think of killing them? Not necessarily. Sometimes, if I encounter a rank 6 powerhouse, I might be able to use it. I still feel like it's a little useless. Fong Ping cursed in his heart. Anyway, he still felt that this thing was a little useless. He was still thinking about it when Old Man Li said, "You haven't told me yet. What's the conversion ratio?" Fong Ping said exasperatedly, "I used 1 or 2,000 cal of vitality and only caused such a little damage. Can't you see for yourself?" Old Man Li did not care about his attitude. This kid had been very arrogant recently. It would not be too late to teach him a lesson later. Sweeping a glance at the crater beside him, Old Man Li rubbed his chin and muttered, "For a rank 5 martial artist like you, being able to integrate celestiality is already extremely difficult. Now, it seems that you didn't waste too much. The conversion ratio is still considered high. Purely based on consumption, it's 2 to 1. Using 10 calories of vitality can cause about 5 calories of vitality damage." Fong Ping suspected that he was stupid. He did not know whether to laugh or cry. Then I might as well just use vitality force. Why waste it? Idiot! Old Man Li rolled his eyes at him. Then he grinned and said, "Kid, I said that the strength of vitality force is not enough. For example, the value of 4B-class weapons might be twice that of an A-class weapon. However, can 4B-class weapons cut an A-class weapon in half? It's possible. One of them is attached to vitality force. Shut up. I'm talking about purely based on toughness. Fong Ping shook his head and said, it can't be cut. It's more or less the same for an A class to cut a B class. Then that's it. Old Man Lee laughed and said, so, instead of giving you 4 B-class weapons, it's better to give you an A-class weapon. Fong Ping retorted again. Then I'd rather have a B-class weapon and sell it for an A-class one. Get lost. Old Man Lee cursed. I'm just making an example. What the F***ck are you thinking? Fong Ping was only joking. He understood what he meant. He pondered and said, in other words, after the conversion, although it looks like a loss, in reality, it's stronger. For example, before, my vitality force might not be able to break a peak rank 6 powerhouse's physical defense. But now, after I convert, I can do it. Is that what you mean? Yes, and celestiality has more uses than just this. Old Man Lee laughed again and said, celestiality has many uses. Kid, have you considered becoming our energy engine? What? Old Man Lee grinned and said, engine? Human engine? Do you know why so few rank 6 martial artists go to the energy room or the vitality pool in MCMAU? Because the energy concentration is too low. Celestiality is also a type of energy. Moreover, it's currently the strongest type of energy. But to ask a Grandmaster to be our engine and supply machine, no one can bring themselves to do that, don't you think? You're only a rank 5 anyway, and you recover quickly. Kid, think about it. Go to the energy room and be our energy supply machine for a while. You can also provide us with a good cultivation environment. Fong Ping's expression was frighteningly dark. What a joke. Old Man Lee must be crazy. In the end, before he could say anything, Wu Chuan, who was beside him, also rubbed his chin and said, rank 5 martial artists can condense celestiality. It's indeed very useful. Fong Ping, nowadays, government agencies often need to use celestiality for research. However, most high-rank martial artists have missions and are very busy. They can't get away. So many research projects are delayed. How about this? You work a little harder and go to some agencies to provide some celestiality for research. I'm very busy too. Seeing that they were eyeing him, Fong Ping immediately refused, saying with extreme vigilance, also, I can only condense a little. If I have more, I'll explode. The research agencies don't need a lot. You just need to provide a little each time. Wu Chuan was a little tempted. Grandmasters were really busy. Moreover, everyone had missions and had their own duties. How would they have the time to go to the research agencies to provide samples for research? Celestiality, once it left the martial artist's body, was also very difficult to preserve and would dissipate very quickly. Fong Ping, this humanoid supply machine, was still very useful. Anyway, he was only a rank 5. Whether there was one more rank 5 in the catacombs or one less rank 5, there was not much difference. Of course, Fong Ping, this rank 5 was slightly different. However, he was a young man. Capable people did more work. Wu Chuan felt that after Fong Ping returned to the surface, if he had nothing to do, he could run some errands. Old Man Lee objected from the side, saying, that won't do. Fong Ping, I think you should just stay in MCMAU. Don't worry, I won't let you suffer. Take more pills, replenish your vitality, then convert it into celestiality for us to cultivate. This kind of cultivation environment will help MCMU's ability to improve. Beside him, Qin Fengqing asked immediately, are the benefits of cultivating with celestiality great? Old Man Lee laughed. You can't do it. Rank 6 martial artists can try. The biggest benefits are still peak rank 6. In this kind of environment, they can come into contact with the use of celestiality in advance, which will help with mentality-vitality fusion. Then why didn't our school use it before? Old Man Lee said impatiently, nonsense. A few grandmasters have to cultivate themselves. Moreover, they're grandmasters. Do you have the nerve to ask them to be your supply machine? Oh, that's true. Fong Ping is only rank 5 anyway. It doesn't matter. Qin Fengqing and Old Man Lee echoed each other. Fong Ping's expression was so dark that it was unbearable. A bunch of bastards. I won't be an engine. Grandmasters can do it. Why don't you find grandmasters to be your supply machine? But Maybe he could open a celestiality cultivation room? Charge a fee? Fong Ping thought about it and shook his head. Forget it. The consumption was too high. If he charged a high fee, people would not do it. If he charged a low fee, it might not be as much as his wealth consumption. Although he could earn some cash, he was not short of cash now. Is it helpful for peak rank 6 powerhouses to break through if they are constantly in an environment with celestiality? Fong Ping thought about this again. He could not help but ask, has the government not considered organizing grandmaster powerhouses to help those peak rank 6 martial artists? Old Man Li shook his head. It's not that they haven't considered it. It's just not worth it. It takes up too much of a high-ranked martial artist's cultivation time. Moreover, the main thing is that mentality recovers slowly. The loss outweighs the gain. This requires a long period of supply. It's not something that can be done in 1 or 2 days. Of course, I suspect that there are people who are doing this. Others aside, the military department might be doing it. These few years, many of the old fellows in the military department have been in closed-door cultivation. A few rank 7 powerhouses have suddenly appeared. They might be trying something like this. Zhou Dinghua, who was beside him, glanced at him without saying a word. As a higher-up in the military department, of course, he knew some things. However, this was top secret. He could not reveal it easily. If word got out, there might be trouble. Doing this would consume a lot of mentality. A few old grandmasters often ran out of vitality. If someone found out who they were and ambushed them suddenly, they might die. Guesses were just guesses. Without a clear target, whether it was the evil sects or the catacombs, they would not attack recklessly. This kind of thing could only be done in places like the military department where there were many grandmasters. For example, MCMAU had 2 or 3 grandmasters. If all of them ran out of vitality and were ambushed, a high rank might be able to destroy MCMAU. Rank 6 martial artists would not ask for this either. Cultivation was their own business. Old Man Li had his eyes on Fong Ping mainly because Fong Ping was too reckless. This kid's mentality and vitality force recovery speed were shocking. He was the most suitable person to do this. Moreover, it did not involve high-end combat strength. What a suitable candidate. Fong Ping could not be bothered with him. However, he did know that celestiality had another use. Fong Ping did not answer this question. Everyone just talked about it and let it go. If he did not want to do it, no one would think of forcing him to do it. If this kid was up to no good, he could detonate celestiality and blow up those rank SIXS who were cultivating. Moreover, Fong Ping himself needed to cultivate too. His probability of becoming a grandmaster seemed almost 100% now. There was no need to delay Fong Ping's cultivation time. A rank 5 martial artist who honed his bone marrow, externalized his mentality, and mastered celestiality. If it was said that Fong Ping could not break through to rank 7, no one present would believe it. At this moment, the only difficulty for Fong Ping to get close to rank 7 was the sealing of the Sanjiao Gate. As for the other honing, it was not too difficult. It was just a matter of time. As long as Fong Ping could seal his Sanjiao Gate, then he would definitely be a rank 7. He had even achieved mentality-vitality fusion. It would have been better if they did not think about this. Once they thought about it, forget about the few youngsters. Even Old Man Li was jealous. Motherf asterisk Kerr, this kid's rank 5 honing would probably not take long. If the Sanjiao Gate was successful and the sealing speed was fast, maybe he could really step into rank 7 soon. Zhao Xingwu and Wu Chuan thought about it too. Both of them took a look at Fong Ping, who was still plotting something. They looked at each other, unsure if it was bitterness or relief. Could this kid really be considered a rank 5 martial artist? They really wanted to dig open his skull and see how exactly he had mutated. Beside them, Fong Ping shuddered and subconsciously distanced himself from them. All right, he should quickly return to the surface. Now that he was in the catacombs, he just did not feel safe. Chapter 391. Amidst the clamor, the day passed in the blink of an eye. December 25th, the 5th day since Fong Ping and the others entered the catacombs. It's stable. Wu Chuan gave a low shout, startling the others awake. Zhang Dingnan showed some sadness on his face, but it disappeared in a flash. This time, the passageway was secured, but 2 grandmasters and 16 rank 6 powerhouses were sacrificed outside the passageway. Exhaling lightly, Zhang Dingnan looked at Wu Chuan and Zhao Xingwu and bowed deeply. Everything was understood without words. This time, I'm counting on you too. Wu Chuan and Zhao Xingwu also had solemn expressions on their faces. They did not say much, but their attitude was clear. They would definitely guard the passageway. Seeing this, Fong Ping smiled and said, "Seniors, don't be too sad. When we go out later, I think we need to make a big show of celebration. Right now, the people outside must be extremely worried and their morale is low. If we continue to act like a defeated general, then our morale will take an even greater blow. Everyone is already full of fear towards the catacombs. Don't be like this. I think that when we go out, we should just praise our merits and say how many great things we've done. All the seniors have sacrificed themselves here. It can be said that the blood of the heroes will not be shed in vain, but it cannot be said too much either." The others couldn't help but laugh. "Do I need you to teach me that?" Zhang Dingnan, on the other hand, felt less sad. He nodded slightly and said, "That's true. We can't increase everyone's fear of the catacombs. The catacombs martial artists aren't scary." With that, Zhang Dingnan exhaled and said, "Then let's go back. Go." In the next moment, everyone stepped into the vortex. Nanjiang, outside the passageway. At this moment, everyone was deeply worried. Ever since old Zheng came out, everyone had been worried and anxious. Some news could be hidden from ordinary people, but not everyone. MCMEU was one of Nanjiang's main reinforcements this time. Luo Yichuan had already received the news that Li Chongxing had died in battle. Lu Polu was seriously injured, and Fong Ping was missing. MCMEU was in trouble this time. If the other two also died in battle in the catacombs, then the blow would be too great. The news was also reported to MCMAU. At this time, even Tang Feng rushed over. The two of them stood outside the passage for 2 days. Behind him, the MCMEU students were also silent. At this moment, everyone knew that the problem was serious. It was worse than expected. Whether Fong Ping and the others could make it back alive, everyone was at a loss. In the crowd, Chen Yunxi's face was pale. For the past 5 days, she had been guarding this place. "The passageway is stable," Tang Feng said in a low voice. Inside, a few grandmasters were on high alert. They surrounded the passageway. Tang Feng and the others did not go near, but they did not go far either. "Would anyone come out? Will Fong Ping come out?" Chen Yunxi's voice was hoarse as she murmured softly. Lu Mingyao comforted him softly. "It'll be fine." At this point, who could not read Chen Yunxi's mind? But at this moment, everyone could only comfort him. This time, so many grandmasters went in, including a bunch of rank SXS. When Fong Ping went in, he was only rank 4. It was hard to say whether he would be able to walk out alive. Just as the Grandmaster was on high alert and the others were worried, auras could be sensed from the alloy house. "Good news!" A loud shout came from the alloy house and spread to the surroundings. Upon hearing this familiar voice, many of them heaved a sigh of relief. Fong Ping had returned. Outside the crowd, Chen Yunxi could not contain her joy. She wanted to go forward, but she stopped in her tracks. Soon, the alloy house's door opened. Fong Ping was murderous at this moment. The Chongdao in his hand reeked of blood. As soon as he came out of the alloy house, he shouted, "Good news! The passageway has been established. In this battle, we killed a rank 8 for rank 7s and 10,000 middle and low-rank martial artists. We destroyed countless cities and towns and blew up the Catacombs Royal City. The Catacombs rank 9 cowered in the city and dared not come out. We won." When Fong Ping's voice spread to the surroundings, there was a moment of silence. Then, in an instant, there was a burst of cheers. "We won. We defended it. Humans will win." Everyone could not contain their joy. They had established the passageway. In the inner circle, a few grandmasters looked at each other. They could not help but look at the few people who came out from the back. Everyone's expression changed slightly. Zhang Dingnan and Lu Pola's injuries were indeed very serious. However, in the next moment, everyone was a little confused. Was that not Li Chongqing? Fong Ping did not stop there. He continued to shout, "In this battle, MCMAU School of Weaponry Deputy Dean Li killed a rank 8 and broke through to rank 8. We humans have another Grandmaster powerhouse. Sino Nation is happy. Mankind is happy. Congratulations to the Grandmaster." In the next moment, a loud voice was heard. Many people's eyes were brimming with tears. One more Grandmaster meant one more hope for mankind. Another powerhouse had broken through. As for the sudden breakthrough from rank 6 to rank 8, everyone really did not think about this. They did not think about it. The Grandmasters looked at each other. This was completely different from what they had expected. At this moment, Li Chongqing's body was also shining with golden light. He leaped into the air and shouted, "Fight for mankind. Fight for Sino Nation. Congratulations to the Grandmaster." An even louder voice was heard. Below, Tang Feng and the rest were also stunned. What was going on? Did they not say that he died in battle? Rank 8. How did he suddenly become a rank 8? This surprise was a little too big. Outside the alloy house, the Grandmasters looked at Zhang Dingnan and the rest. What was going on? Right now, these people were almost suffocating. Zhang Dingnan nodded slightly, but did not say much. This kid Fong Ping, no matter what he wanted to do, he was too lazy to think about it. At least he had to give the people of Nanjiang hope. At this moment, the surrounding martial artists' morale was high. This goal was achieved. As for those who sacrificed themselves, heroes, they could be remembered, but it was not appropriate to say much here. If everyone knew that 2 Grandmasters had died in battle, there might be panic. They had to slowly let everyone accept these facts. At this moment, Old Man Li also landed, no longer showing off. Seeing everyone looking at him, Old Man Li said lightly, "What are you looking at me for? You're really rank 8? In the crowd, some people were in slight disbelief. Old Man Li smiled but said nothing. "I'm a fake. Can I tell you? I won't scare you to death. Whether it's real or fake, the golden body is here. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not." Although that was what he thought, Old Man Li was a little anxious. He had to achieve real rank 8 as soon as possible. This fake one was not very suitable. The Grandmasters were talking. Fong Ping did not disturb them. He walked to the side and met up with the people of MCMAU. Before Tang Feng and Luo Yichuan could speak, Chen Yunqi asked in a low, hoarse voice, "Fong Ping, are you okay?" Fong Ping glanced at her, laughed dryly, and coughed softly. "What can happen to me? This time in the catacombs, I almost killed a rank 9 powerhouse. Dozens of rank 7 and 8 martial artists chased after me, but I came out unscathed. If not for the situation, I could have dug up tens of thousands of caddies of energy stones this time. It's a pity that I was chased by 2 rank 9s, so I couldn't bring too much. This time, I only brought these few things back." As he said that, Fong Ping threw the animal skin bag down. The bag opened, and a large number of energy stones were exposed. Tang Feng, who was about to reprimand him, shut his mouth instantly. What was going on? Something did not feel right. "You were chased by 2 rank 9s? Fong Ping did not even look at the animal skin bag. He smiled and said, "Yunqi, help me hold this first. Carrying this thing is quite tiring. It's a pity that we were in a hurry. Otherwise, I was prepared to bring more back." Chen Yunqi quietly helped him pick up the animal skin bag, hugging it in her arms. Beside her, Qin Fengqing's eyes never left it. "Damn it. You should have let me hold it for you." Seeing that there was no chance, Qin Fengqing did not stare at this anymore. He coughed softly and said, "This time, I also killed a few hundred rank 5 and 6 martial artists. Guardian Wu insisted that we leave. Otherwise, we could even flatten the catacombs." Both of them were bragging a little too much. Everyone was skeptical. Qin Fengqing did not waste any more words. As if he had accidentally ripped open the bag, a rank 6 medal fell out. "See, I didn't lie to you, did I? I really killed a rank 6. Of course, he would not tell everyone that this was something that everyone did not want. He just conveniently took it back. Whether it was the two rank SIXS that they killed together at the beginning, or the rank SIXS that chased after them and were killed instead, the others did not want the medal. Only Qin Fengqing collected a lot. Everyone's expression changed again and again. What did these people do in the catacombs? Fong Ping smiled as he walked. We won't disturb the grandmasters anymore. Let's go back first. Anyway, this time we killed a lot in the catacombs. I also broke through to rank 5. In the city closest to the passageway, I blew up an energy mine that was tens of thousands of tons and killed tens of thousands of catacombs martial artists. Honestly, we're lucky that we came back. Otherwise, the catacombs would have been wiped out. Everyone was skeptical. Tang Feng could not help but ask, let's not talk about you first. What happened to Dean Li? Fong Ping smiled. Actually, it's simple. That day, the situation was like this. Fong Ping repeated his heroic feat again. Finally, he said, it's a pity. We were in a hurry then. Otherwise, we might have achieved rank 9 directly. The catacombs really have a lot of good stuff. The others were silent again. Chun Yunshi whispered, then, you're not hurt, are you? I'm fine. Those rank 7s and 7s couldn't catch me. Those two rank 9s were also running around in circles. Could they hurt me? Beside him, Qin Fengqing wanted to say something, but stopped himself. Forget it. I won't expose the fact that you were hunted down until you lost your pants. Big brother did not talk about second brother. He was also hunted down badly. Since he came back alive, of course, he could not embarrass himself. Could he tell everyone that the few of them had actually been running all the time in the catacombs? Not to mention how badly they were hunted down. These painful past events should be forgotten with the wind. At the same time, on the other side, Li Hansong was also reporting the situation. Li Hansong sighed. He could not explain in a few words. He said bitterly, in the catacombs, we were constantly being hunted down. I ran for 3 days and 3 nights. Instructor, the people from other martial arts universities are really good at enduring. He wanted to cry. Now that he was back, he really wanted to find someone to talk to. Fu Guosheng was a little lost. He glanced at Fong Ping and the rest who were not far away. They were dressed neatly, in high spirits, talking and laughing as if they had just returned from an outing. Why were the elites of his school doing so badly? Li Hansong was a rank 5. Among the few young people, his ability was not the strongest, but Fong Ping and Wang Jinyang should not be much stronger than him, right? Not to mention, there was still the rank for Qin Fengqing. At this moment, Fu Guosheng felt a little embarrassed. Could he not give CCMU some face? Li Hansong did not think too much at the moment. He was still complaining, Instructor, the school's teaching needs to be changed. At the very least, we should teach the students how to dig holes as fast as possible when they are being hunted down, conceal their aura, and conceal their traces. Li Hansong was speaking from the bottom of his heart. This skill was really useful. However, in Fu Guosheng's ears, the more he listened, the more upset he felt. He forced a smile and said, we'll talk about this later. Hansong, did you gain anything this time? When we go back, we need to cultivate our stepping techniques well. Fu Guosheng did not ask anymore. This prodigy of CCMU always felt that his mind was not clear. Others were praising and showing off their achievements. What were you doing? Digging holes? Learning stepping techniques? Li Hansong's words were really sincere. This time, he had really gained experience. In the catacombs, escaping was the priority. Killing the enemy was secondary. Preserving one's life was more important than anything else. CCMU rarely talked about these things. If CCMU students were to change to the catacombs, their ability to survive might be slightly worse than other schools. From Li Hansong's perspective, this was a big deal, not a small one. As for praising and showing off, there was nothing to show off. After being hunted down for 3 days, he had more injuries than Qin Fengqing. Was this something to show off? Fu Guosheng saw that Li Hansong still wanted to say more. His expression darkened slightly, and he ignored him. This trip to the catacombs had changed this CCMU prodigy a lot. Even his drive seemed to have worn down a lot. In the temporary military camp, Fong Ping roughly talked about his experience in the catacombs. What he said were all honorable things. As for running naked and digging holes, being hunted down until there was no way out, he just brushed it off. He mainly talked about the rank 9 big willow trees' majesty. After he blew up the city later on, it was furious, yet helpless. River-like energy essence, energy stones that could be seen everywhere. These words also appeared frequently in Fong Ping's narration. Everyone was skeptical at first, but in the end, they all believed him. If they had not seen it or done it, they would not think that Fong Ping's words were so real. Tang Fong said with a sigh, "I didn't expect you to go through so much this time." Fong Ping laughed. "Actually, it's nothing much. At the end of the day, my ability is still a little weak. Otherwise, I would have killed a rank 9 directly. Honestly, I've always wanted to kill that willow tree monster and bring it back to MCMAU directly. Unfortunately, I'm only rank 5. At this moment, everyone suddenly remembered that Fong Ping was rank 5. Rank 5, CLA, and the others' expressions were extremely complicated. Rank 5 just like that? How long had it been since you were rank 4? This unintentional sentence deeply hurt everyone's hearts. Tang Fong and Luo Yichuan felt like their hearts were suffocating. This kid, was he really going to catch up to them? Beside them, Chen Yunqi's expression was also complicated. She murmured, "You're already rank 5. She was only upper stage rank 3. Fong Ping coughed softly. Without looking at her, he said, "Of course, this time I'm back, I'll also try my best to help everyone improve their abilities. I'll open MCMU's energy room to everyone for free as soon as possible. The energy stones I brought back will also help everyone speed up their cultivation." Chapter 392. Seeing how excited the others were, Fong Ping looked at Tang Fong and Luo Yichuan. He smiled and said, "Also, this time in the catacombs, I've mastered the celestiality integration method. I can master it skillfully. Maybe MCMU will build a new celestiality cultivation room." What? Both of them were stunned. After Tang Fong fused with his blood essence, he could actually gather the power of heaven and earth. However, under normal circumstances, rank 6 martial artists would rarely do something like this. It was easy to deplete one's mental energy, but hard to replenish it. Right now, he still needed to focus on nurturing his psychic energy, so he couldn't waste it. The power of the heavens and the earth was extremely precious to him. Fong Ping's expression was nonchalant. He smiled and said, "The celestiality cultivation room. Of course, due to the high consumption, the school might need to subsidize part of it. We'll talk about this later. Also, I have a lot of things to do next, so I may not have much time to do them." Tang Fong and Luo Yichuan looked at each other in disbelief. Fong Ping wanted to build a celestiality cultivation room. This was not a simple matter. It was actually very difficult for a grandmaster to maintain a continuous supply of the power of heaven and earth. They would need to spend a lot of time to recover from the depletion of their mental power. If one wanted to build a cultivation room that could allow people to cultivate, they would need at least 2 grandmasters to take turns providing it. Furthermore, the amount of heaven and earth energy provided was actually limited. Could a rank 5 really do it? Fong Ping did not care about their doubts. If it was really built, these rank SIXS would definitely beg to enter. Now that I'm back, there are many things that I need to do. I need to reform MCMU vigorously, so I hope that everyone can support me in doing so. As Fong Ping said that, he chuckled. Especially the 2 deans. Luo Yichuan and Tang Fong looked at each other. After a while, Luo Yichuan said, "If it's beneficial to MCMU, we will support it." Fong Ping laughed. "Of course. Have I, Fong Ping, ever done anything that would harm MCMU's interests? For example, Instructor Lee broke through to rank 8, held a rank 1 martial arts competition, took the position of the top elite school, and expanded our school's industry. Speaking from the bottom of my heart, I, Fong Ping, only wish for MCMAU to be better. When have I ever harmed MCMAU?" Everyone was rendered speechless by these words. Including the following series of policies, it's all to make MCMAU stronger. I, Fong Ping, am not so selfless as to think that everyone in the world will have a good life. I can't care about it. I don't have the ability to. However, I believe that I still have the ability to make the students and teachers of MCMU feel better. Right now, I'm only a rank 5. When I enter rank 6, rank 7, I'll definitely lead MCMU further, more steadily and better. A declaration to seize power? Qin Fengqing, who was at the side, muttered to himself. Motherf asterisk Kerr, you really want to seize power? Fong Ping did not hide it. He said loudly, what do you mean by seizing power? I respect the 3 vice-chancellors from the bottom of my heart. I hope they can focus on martial arts and improve further. Only now did I realize that without the 9th pin, I would be nothing. So what if he was a rank 8? If the rank 8 Commander Zhou encountered a rank 9, he would be done for. How many rank 9s were there in the catacombs? 2 rank 9s in one city. Magic City Catacombs. I've done a rough count. 26 rank 9s. How terrifying. The Vice-Chancellor was now a rank bait. Rank 9 was just around the corner. If he still wasted time on other things, would he have the time to cultivate and break through? When the Vice-Chancellor reaches rank 9 and can no longer improve, when that time comes and he has to step forward to manage these trivial matters, I can't wait to throw them all to him. Ask Instructor Tang which is more important, cultivation or these trivial matters. Do martial artists cultivate for power? Tang Feng said with a straight face, martial arts is the priority. All power is to serve the advancement of martial arts. This was Tang Feng's truest thought. What was power? Martial artists cultivated not to fight for power and profit, but to become stronger in martial arts, to pacify the catacombs. Luo Yichuan nodded slightly. For 100 years, all martial artists fought to become stronger, to pacify the catacombs. Power was only a point of leverage on the path of martial arts, not the end. Qin Fengqing, shut up. I won't say any more. I just know that everyone has been bewitched. Moreover, MCMEU's current situation was a little complicated. Li Chongqing would support Fong Ping no matter what. Lu Polu, it was hard to say for now. However, in the catacombs, Lu Polu was generous with his praise for Fong Ping. Lu Polu did not care about power, so he would probably agree with Fong Ping. Huang Jing and Wu Quishan. It was hard to say for now. These two might not care about these things. Otherwise, they would not have given Fong Ping so many opportunities to expand their influence. MCMEU is really going to be Fong's. Qin Fengqing had a clear understanding. Forget it. This old man should go to the House of Guardians and try being a resident city envoy. However, what about the Celestiality Cultivation Room and the Rank 5 Celestial Bridge Fusion? Qin Fengqing was a little conflicted. If he went to other places, there would be none. No one would guide him on how to fuse them. Currently, Fong Ping was the only one who had fused such an ugly celestial bridge. Fong Ping ignored him and continued, I can't continue this time. This time, I've offended a few rank 9 catacombs powerhouses. They will definitely kill me if I go down. However, the construction of the city is imminent. You guys can stay. Qin Fengqing, make a copy of the catacombs map and give it to everyone. Mark out which places have good stuff and powerhouses. In the catacombs, Qin Fengqing did not idle around. This guy was really a talent. At the very least, no matter how fast he ran, he could remember the place, the terrain, and the general situation. They ran for 3 days. After 3 days, Qin Fengqing had almost figured out the situation from the passageway to gigantic Willow City. Some places had benefits. He only cared about running and did not have time to look for them. Hearing Fong Ping asking him to draw, Qin Fengqing's expression changed. Fong Ping's gaze was dangerous. What? Do you have any objections? It's just drawing a map. Is it so difficult to contribute to the university? Can you bear to watch everyone go to their deaths? Can you bear to watch everyone gain nothing? Moreover, it's not good for us to go in now. If we're discovered, we'll be hunted down until we die. If you go in again, who knows when it'll be? Qin Fengqing looked helpless. After a while, he said, then at least reward me with some benefits, right? Of course. MCMU won't ask students to contribute to the university for free. That's not MCMU's purpose. Things that rely on favors won't last long. People's hearts are easily dispersed. I'll make the decision and reward you with 300 credits. Do you have any objections now? Sure. Qin Fengqing agreed readily. 300 credits was not a small amount. Unexpectedly, Fang Ping found his conscience for once. Fang Ping did not care. It was only 300 credits. When Qin Fengqing sold his spoils of war to the university, the profit would be more or less earned back. Then, the credits had to be spent in the university. Over and over again, Qin Fengqing did not get any benefits. MCMU's profit was Fang Ping's profit. It did not matter. Everyone did not do anything to Qin Fengqing, but they all showed gratitude to Fang Ping. Having a clear map would bring great benefits to everyone. You guys must be careful. Don't run around, and don't get too close to gigantic Willow City. Also, the catacombs have just opened. Many villages and towns actually have small energy mines. Fang Ping looked at Luo Yichuan and said, Dean Luo, please take care of us this time. We were in too much of a hurry before and didn't have time to care about these. This time, after you lead the team in, try to dig some back. At the moment, everyone can't care about this. Before we came back, gigantic Willow City had actually implemented the policy of strengthening the city walls and clearing the fields. A large number of residents outside the city began to gather in Royal City. Now, a large number of their rank 6 martial artists have died in battle. At the moment, they can't take care of so many outer cities and towns. Once these people migrate, the energy mines won't be completely dug out. These people in Nanjiang's catacombs haven't realized yet that in the next few years, they might not be able to return. They won't do something like destroying their own foundation. Today, humans entered the catacombs for the first time. In the catacombs, especially the residents in the cities and towns, they would never think that they might not be able to return to their original land and live in this lifetime. Those villages and towns would usually have the existence of small energy mines, and these would only be obtained by the first batch of human forces when the catacombs opened. The later ones would almost have no chance. As for official forces like the military department, in the short term, they would focus on building the city. At this moment, Luo Yichuan had almost forgotten that Fang Ping was a student and he was the dean. Upon hearing this, he immediately said, Of course. This time, we will definitely dig more energy stones back. Tang Feng was also tempted. He said, Then why don't I go down too? Forget about Instructor Tang. Your goal is still to break through at the moment. Tang Feng had already reached the stage of mentality-vitality fusion. He was close to rank 7. Fang Ping dared not let him go down now. If he died in battle, MCMU would have one less Grandmaster. Although it was very realistic, this was the real situation. Even those rank SIXS who entered before generally had no hope of breaking through. Those who really had a chance of breaking through would not enter in the early stage. All of you be careful. Pay attention to your safety. Fang Ping looked at these students. Right now, the passageway was relatively safe. Perhaps the next time it stabilized, these people would enter. Fang Ping did not think of letting them all go back. There was no need for that. Martial artists had to seize opportunities themselves. Now that the catacombs had just opened, there were really many opportunities. Gigantic Willow City had also suffered heavy losses. They would not attack rashly in the short term. This time difference was also the best time for them to move. Everyone nodded. Fang Ping glanced at Chen Yunxi from the corner of his eye, but did not say anything. While Fang Ping was making arrangements for everyone. Magic City. Mao. Lu Fengru returned to school covered in injuries. As soon as she returned to the villa, Liang Fenghua, who stayed behind, ran in excitedly, saying loudly, Instructor, you're finally back. Good news. What's wrong? Lu Fengru was a little tired. Liang Fenghua was not the kind of person who could not sit still. Junior Fang came out of Nanjiang's catacombs and broke through to rank 5. He also helped Instructor Li break through to rank 8. Lu Fengru suddenly felt a little tired. Are you kidding me? I fought for my life in the catacombs. I haven't even reached rank 7 yet. Li Changsheng, rank 8? Yes. Who said that? Everyone said it. Also, when he came out of the catacombs, Instructor Li showed his golden body. The whole Nanjiang martial arts world knew about it. Meng Yao said that Junior Fong seized life essence in the catacombs royal city and let instructor Li consume a few hundred caddies. Then he broke through. Wait, what's that? Life essence is energy essence. Lu Fengru's expression changed. She asked immediately, how much? A few hundred caddies. Lu Fengru suddenly gritted her teeth. Her embarrassment turned into anger. What a Li Chongqing! What a Fong Ping! Old? She did not curse, but Lu Fengru really could not hold it in. Bastard, whose student are you? She was almost beaten to death in the catacombs. All she wanted was to find an energy mine and go in to absorb some high-concentration energy. She did not even dare to think about energy essence. In the end, that student of hers went to find energy essence for Li Chongqing. She was so angry that her liver hurt. She did not worry about scarcity, but about inequality. Fong Ping did not get it. Lu Fengru did not think much of it. Cultivation depended on oneself. How could she rely on her own student? But Fong Ping got it and gave it to that bastard Li Chongqing. Lu Fengru felt like killing someone. Rank 7. How many years had she yearned for it? These two bastards, did they not know how to leave some for herself? Lu Fengru felt that her heart could not take it. It was too much of a blow. Her heart was broken. Fong Ping really got his hands on life essence? No, Lu Fengru suddenly did not have the mood to rest. She wanted to go to Nanjiang and catch those two. Others aside, she could not let that bastard old man Li take advantage of her. Before she finished speaking, Lu Fengru did not care about Liang Fenghua anymore. She turned around and left. To Nanjiang, Liang Fenghua was confused. What was wrong with the teacher? On this day, Nanjiang auspicious pieces martial artists spent their days in joy. Even the central government specially held a meeting of the Titans for this matter. The stronghold of the Nanjiang catacombs was conquered. Not only that, they almost blew up a royal city. Fong Ping's name also appeared in the eyes of the Titans for the first time. In the past, although Fong Ping was also a prodigy and the president of MCMU's Martial Arts Society, he was not considered a low-level figure. However, no matter how outstanding he was still a young man, a martial artist who had just entered the middle rank. There were prodigies in martial arts universities every year. The Titans really did not have the time to pay attention to a young man who had just emerged. But now, someone was paying attention. A middle-rank martial artist who had invaded the royal city and destroyed half of the royal city was worthy of attention. Of course, they only remembered Fong Ping as a person. They also remembered his breath concealment technique. At this moment, the central government had also sent someone to check and consult. This was not a small matter. In fact, it was more important than Li Chongqing condensing a rank 8 golden body. Not to mention that he was not a real rank 8. Even if he was a real rank 8, the impact on the war situation would not be that big. On the contrary, this kind of breath concealment technique would really have an earth-shattering impact. Lu Fengru rushed over, and there were powerhouses coming from the central government too. Fong Ping was not aware of any of these. At this moment, after Fong Ping had sent the others away, he saw Chen Yunxi, who was deliberately left here by everyone, and felt a slight headache. Seeing this woman's head lowered, not saying a word, and a little embarrassed, Fong Ping felt a headache coming on. After a while, he said, "For martial artists of our generation, there is no tomorrow. Especially for people like me, who can't say for sure which catacombs I will die in one day. The catacombs are not fair. We are afraid, and we are in danger. Instead of living in fear day and night after I enter the catacombs, it's better to cut off those thoughts as soon as possible. It's the same for me. If you enter the catacombs and die in the catacombs one day, it will be a blow to me too. Yunxi, although you have a grandmaster grandfather, your grandfather can't protect you forever. Before we have the ability to protect ourselves, we don't have to think about these things." Chen Yunxi lifted her head and looked at him. She was not upset and said softly, "I know. I will work hard to cultivate and strive to be worthy of you." Fong Ping's face fell instantly. "I've already said this. Shouldn't you be heartbroken? Then turn and leave, crying endlessly. And when you see me in the future, you will let out a loud humph and leave without looking back." What's with this strive to be worthy of you? Girls, can't you be more reserved? Fong Ping felt a headache coming on. After a long time, he said, "We'll see. Don't do stupid things next time. What's the use of standing for 5 days? With these 5 days, if you cultivate more, you might achieve peak rank 3. In this era, cultivating and becoming stronger are the first things you should do. Everything else is a small matter. Even if you die standing, I will still die in the catacombs. Do you think you can revive someone standing? Do you understand what I mean?" Chun Yunshi nodded and said softly, "Then I will cultivate hard in the future, strive to become stronger, and accompany you to the catacombs." Fong Ping sighed. "Girls, be more reserved, be more reserved. Fortunately, your grandfather is not here. If he is, will he hack me to death?" Seeing that Chun Yunshi was about to leave, Fong Ping felt his heart ache. Suddenly, he gave her a slap and said impatiently, "Go, I want to rest." Chun Yunshi was at a loss at first, then a bright smile appeared on her face. She said happily, "What you injected into my body is life essence. Am I right?" Fong Ping's expression darkened. He said exasperatedly, "Energy essence. Don't use the term carelessly. All right, I'm going to rest." "Then rest well. I'll leave first." Chun Yunshi's face was full of joy. She did not say anything, but left happily. Fong Ping sighed again. This was a losing deal. Back then, he should not have tricked this silly girl into buying his pills. Now, she had even developed feelings for him. Women were so complicated. It's because I'm too outstanding. I'm handsome too, like a crane in a flock of chickens. Anyone who sees me will be moved. I need to restrain myself. Fong Ping shook his head. Men were too outstanding. It was frustrating. In this era, he could not find a good man who could stand shoulder to shoulder with him. If I die one day, I'm afraid the whole world will be crying for me. Just thinking about it makes me sad. These words were said to himself. Outside the door, old man Li, who was just about to enter, suddenly stopped in his tracks. These words were really heart-wrenching. Bullying an old man who was single? Looking at Chun Yunshi, who was leaving happily not far away, old man Li felt that there was no need to go in. If he went in, he would be heart-wrenching. Maybe I should find a wife. This thought suddenly appeared in old man Li's mind. In the past, it was because he was focused on martial arts. Later, he did not want to hold others back. He was disheartened. Now he had recovered. Rank 8 was at hand. At this time, was it time to find a wife? Who should I look for? Old man Li turned around and left. As he thought about these, faces flashed across his mind. Finally, a familiar face suddenly flashed across his mind. Old man Li was stunned. What was he thinking? Wu Quishan, that old thing, could beat him to death. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. Look after your fierce wife. I don't want to... Chapter 393. Li Chongsheng. A few hours later. Old man Li was confused. Was he hallucinating again? He looked around. Wu Quishan was nowhere to be seen. Old man Li breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he was not here for revenge. Old man Li chuckled and said, "Oh, Fengru, why are you here?" Lu Fengru saw his happy smile and felt that something was not right. She snorted. "You broke through rank 8? Probably. Old man Li's tone was uncertain. It was not easy to fool an acquaintance. Was he a rank 8? Of course not. However, old man Li would not admit that he was a rank 6. If he said he was a rank 8, he was a rank 8. Probably? Lu Fengru frowned slightly. What kind of answer was that? She was already unhappy with this old man. Hearing his perfunctory answer, Lu Fengru did not waste any more time. Her fist was as fast as lightning, blasting forward instantly. Clang! A clear sound reverberated through the air. Lu Fengru took a few steps back. Her fist trembled slightly. She gritted her teeth and said, "You're good." The old man had really forged a golden body. Old man Li dusted his clothes lightly, his expression calm and relaxed. He let out a sigh of relief. Fortunately, it was his fist. If he had used his mentality, he would have been exposed. Even if Lu Fengru's mentality did not hurt him much. He smiled reservedly. Old Man Li coughed softly and said, "It's just this is so. Your student is still the best. Fengru, you've taken in a good student." What a stab! The corners of Lu Fengru's eyes kept twitching. "That kid, is he really my student? Are you sure he's not yours?" Lu Fengru took a deep breath and suppressed her urge to beat this guy to death. She asked urgently, "Is it really life essence?" "Yes." "A few hundred caddies?" "Not really." Old Man Li denied. He then said, "Actually, he probably absorbed a few dozen caddies. The rest has all evaporated." Lu Fengru panted slightly for a moment. At this moment, she really wanted to beat this old man to death. "Do you have more?" "None." Old Man Li denied immediately. He then smiled and said, "I don't have any, but that kid Fong Ping might have more. He might have hidden some." Old Man Li had no qualms about betraying Fong Ping. That brat had consumed quite a lot of life essence, so he wouldn't need it for the time being. As for breaking through to the supreme power realm, what that guy lacked now was not energy but time. Lu Fengru's breakthrough was imminent. Old Man Li felt that if Fong Ping really had it, it would be more worthwhile for him to help Lu Fengru break through instead of wasting it on himself. Lu Fengru looked fierce and cold, but that was not the case. If Fong Ping helped her break through now, he would owe her a big favor. Lu Fengru would not let him suffer any losses. As soon as Old Man Li finished speaking, Lu Fengru disappeared. The moment she saw the old man, she wanted to hammer him to death. However, considering that the old man had broken through, she was afraid that she would not be able to kill him. After some consideration, she decided to let the old man go for now. Seeing that Lu Fengru had left, Old Man Li heaved a sigh of relief once again. She came so fast, and she was still as tough as ever. What was he thinking in the afternoon? Was he out of his mind? In the tent. At this moment, Fong Ping was talking to a few of Nanjiang's higher-ups. Zhang Dingnan, the commander of the Nanjiang military region, and Wang Jinyang were all there. On MCMU's side, other than Fong Ping, Luo Yichuan and Tang Feng were there too. As they were talking, inside the tent, Tang Feng raised his eyebrows slightly. The next moment, Lu Fengru pushed the door open and entered. Fong Ping was slightly surprised to see Lu Fengru. Then he got up and smiled. "Instructor, why are you here?" "Don't worry about me, I'm fine." Lu Fengru shot him a look. "Am I worried about you?" She had just come out from Magic City's catacombs. She had only just found out that Fong Ping had entered the catacombs. Fong Ping really knew how to flatter himself. Ignoring Fong Ping, Lu Fengru glanced around. When she saw Zhang Dingnan, whose face was still pale, she frowned slightly. "Not dead?" Zhang Dingnan chuckled softly. "I'm lucky." "You're pretty lucky." Lu Fengru let out a soft humph. Then she asked, "How's your injuries?" "It's all right. I'll be fine after resting for a while." "I know you won't die." The two of them talked as if there was no one else around. Fong Ping was shocked. What was going on? Were these two really having an affair? Since when did old Lu care about others? She would even ask if his injury was serious. If Wu Quishan was seriously injured, Lu Fengru might not even ask, right? A long time ago, he had heard from Lu Fengru that Zhang Dingnan had also been drooling over her. Could it be true? Big news! Fong Ping's face was full of shock, but the others did not make a sound, as if they did not hear anything. Luo Yichuan and Tang Feng pretended not to see anything. Lu Fengru and Zhang Dingnan had a good relationship. They had been friends for many years. If not, it would not be strange for Zhang Dingnan, a Nanjiang governor, to have his combat techniques appear in NMAU. Why would he appear in MCMAU? Every school had combat techniques, and grandmasters usually didn't keep them to themselves. However, grandmasters' combat techniques could not be spread around. If they were to spread it, it would be a huge loss for them to teach evil teachings. The two of them did not say much. After Lu Fengru and Zhang Dingnan had finished their small talk, she said, "Talk? Yes, you came just in time. Sit down and listen." Zhang Dingnan smiled and invited her to sit. Lu Fengru did not stand on ceremony. She immediately pulled out Fong Ping's chair and sat down. Fong Ping looked helpless. There were still empty seats. Why did she snatch mine? He had no choice but to find another empty seat and sit down. Zhang Dingnan continued the previous topic, saying, Nanjiang's economy is not very strong, and the martial arts cultivation environment is only average. Now that Nanjiang's catacombs has opened, if it continues like this, Nanjiang will be in danger. Before this, Fangping and NMEU have talked about collaborating. This time, what I mean is that we can collaborate, but not just against NMEU. Zhang Dingnan probably saw that Lu Fengru had just arrived, so he said a few more words. Fangping waited for him to finish before saying, We all understand what the governor means, but I don't think it's necessary for MCMEU to open a specially recruited class, right? NMEU can totally train Nanjiang's local martial artists, Zhang Dingnan said bitterly. NMEU is in a lot of trouble now. Vice-Chancellor Chen died in battle. It's still hard to say if they can find a high-rank powerhouse to oversee NMEU. Even the Department of Education might not be able to appoint a high-ranked powerhouse to take over. In addition, with the opening of the catacombs, some of NMEU's instructors have to oversee the catacombs. Current teaching has been seriously affected. If we open a class to train casual martial artists, it'll be even more difficult. Actually, this kind of training doesn't take much effort. It's mainly to deepen the casual martial artist's understanding of the catacombs. This includes learning the catacombs language, the cultivation of some combat techniques, and of course, some practical knowledge of the catacombs. Nanjiang's catacombs has just opened. Currently, the construction of the city is still in preparation. That's why I want to let some martial artists enter Magic City's catacombs for practice. There's not even a place to stay here in Nanjiang. Also, MCMU's teaching environment is better, including cultivation places like the Energy Room and Vitality Pool. Luo Yichuan frowned and said, Governor Zhang, these facilities are already not enough for our MCMEU instructors and students. The collaboration that Zhang Dingnan was talking about included opening these facilities to Nanjiang's martial artists. Nanjiang did not build these. This was not a small amount of money. MCMEU allocated tens of billions every year. In fact, a lot of it was used for the construction of these facilities. Other things aside, the Energy Room looked simple. Burning a few energy stones to make the energy more concentrated and help everyone cultivate. Fangping had actually been looking at the energy stones. Little did he know that the real expensive part was the Energy Room itself. Every cultivation room could not let energy leak. The cost of building such a cultivation room alone was extremely high. The raw materials for the surrounding walls were not ordinary materials. Construction materials that could shield the release of energy. In terms of cost alone, it was not lower than the value of B-class alloy. It was made from energy crystals after a large amount of energy had been released, fused with some rare metals. Fangping did not care about these. That was because his judgment was lacking. In fact, the cost of MCMU's Energy Room was at least more than 10 billion. This did not include the annual maintenance costs and the purchase of some high-end equipment, such as the energy release settings. These were all extremely expensive products. Nanjiang did not have the catacombs in the past. The government did not consider building this either. It was too expensive. The cost of tens of billions and a large amount of energy stones were needed. Even if it was built, they would not have enough energy stones to use. Currently, among the martial arts universities and military schools, only CCMEU, MCMEU, and First Military School had such facilities. Other martial arts universities, including other second-tier schools, did not build it. The Vitality Pool was the same. Not to mention, they had to capture catacombs powerhouses as raw materials for supply. Even if Nanjiang wanted to build it now, it would not be something that could be done in a short time. Moreover, funds were also a problem. Their finances were not abundant. Zhang Dingnan was not surprised by Luo Yichuan's words. He smiled and said, Dean Luo, MCMU's energy stones are also limited. Those facilities are not always activated, and they are always overcrowded. The energy stones and other materials consumed will be provided by Nanjiang itself, not by MCMAU. Moreover, if this cooperation can be achieved, the annual output of Nanjiang's catacombs in the future, not to mention the military department, A part of the output of Nanjiang's martial artists can be used as tuition fees and the use of the venue. Honestly, this is a win-win situation for both parties. Nanjiang is not the only one benefiting. In fact, we can also cooperate with CCMEU or other institutions, including building our own facilities. Fang Ping smiled and continued, Governor, not to mention Nanjiang's current financial difficulties, whether they can fork out so much funds to build their own facilities. Even if they can, the price-performance ratio is not high. Do you think there is much hope in cooperating with institutions like CCMAU, Governor? Of course, the central government also has many such facilities, but the central government is also cultivating martial artists. If Nanjiang's casual martial artists want to enter, I'm afraid it will not be easy. Zhang Dingnan smiled and said, let's not beat around the bush. Whatever conditions MCMAU has, you can state them. Then I'll be straightforward. Fang Ping did not stand on ceremony and said, first, MCMAU can open a special recruitment class, no problem, but there is a limit to the number of people, no more than 300 every year. Those who are lower than rank, too, don't have to come. It's a waste of Nanjiang's limited resources. Second, MCMU's facilities can be open to Nanjiang martial artists, but all expenses, including the venue fees, will be borne by them. Third, all expenses, including tuition fees, venue fees, training fees, materials fees. MCMU will not accept cash, nothing else. Everything will be paid with herbs, energy stones, and rare metals. The price will be based on the purchase price of a few major companies. Fourth, students who enter MCMU's special recruitment class, including Nanjiang Martial Arts University students, can order our pills and weapons from MCMAU's official website. They will not be paid with cash, but with various raw materials. This is MCMAU's benefit for Nanjiang. Of course, the price will not be the same as for MCMAU students. As Fang Ping said that, he smiled and said, just these few points, they're actually not considered difficult. This is also because Nanjiang is my hometown. I can't bear to see the martial artists from my hometown. Fang Ping. Wang Jinyang interrupted him slightly helplessly. After a while, he said, we're all from Nanjiang. Now that Nanjiang is already in a precarious situation, you're kind of adding insult to injury. President Wang. Fang Ping changed the way he addressed him, shook his head and said, you're wrong. I'm providing timely help. Business is business. Of course, this is not considered a business cooperation, but we still have to distinguish between public and private interests. MCMAU is not a unit under Nanjiang's jurisdiction. MCMAU has MCMU's responsibility, and MCMAU is not a place where I, Fang Ping, have the final say. I'm only a student, and everything I'm doing now is actually fighting for Nanjiang's interests. This is already biased. A few vice-chancellors, including a few deans, originally did not agree to it. Actually, on this point, all the martial arts universities have the same attitude. Think about it from another perspective. If NMAU had these conditions, would they open it to the public? It's not that we're narrow-minded, it's that our conditions are really limited, and we're already tight on meeting our own needs. If we open up a portion to the public, this will cause a series of negative effects. Governor, you should know that the points I've mentioned are actually not meant to make things difficult for Nanjiang. Zhang Dingnan was slightly helpless. Even if he was a grandmaster powerhouse at this moment, he felt like he was under the eaves and had no choice but to lower his head. The points that Fang Ping had mentioned were not actually harsh. However, everything was based on the catacombs' raw materials as the standard of settlement. Just this point alone was a huge problem. This was blatantly robbing the business of a few major companies, and Fang Ping's meaning was also very clear. This trouble needed to be handled by Nanjiang themselves. Nanjiang's martial artists insisted on using these things to make up for it, not MCMAU. They could not possibly refuse what they were offering, could they? The key point was not anywhere else, but how Zhang Dingnan was going to settle these troubles and achieve the cooperation. The output of Nanjiang's martial artists might enter MCMAU's warehouse in the future. This was not a small matter. Zhang Dingnan's original meaning was that the consumption of the energy room and the vitality pool would be paid for with raw materials, but not everything. It also did not include MCMU opening up its own exchange system to the public. In reality, This was already MCMAU selling these outputs in disguise. The other powerhouses of MCMAU did not speak, obviously tacitly agreeing with Fong Ping's statement. If they could really purchase the catacombs output obtained by Nanjiang's martial artists and then produce and sell them, one must know that pills and weapons were both profiteering industries. Even if they sold them at a slightly lower price than the major companies, it would still be a crazy profitable business. They did not want money, they only wanted raw materials. This was MCMU's only request, and also the biggest trouble. Zhang Dingnan tapped the table lightly. After a while, he said, "Actually, the pill and weapon companies also have corresponding training institutions and cultivation facilities." Fong Ping laughed. "I know, but to put it bluntly, these major companies are not professional training units. If Nanjiang's martial artists really go to them, who knows what they will be taught? Moreover, because the major companies are in a monopoly position, the conditions they offer will only be harsher than ours. Moreover, everything now is temporary. I believe that because of the existence of the catacombs, it will not be long before Nanjiang's martial artists enter a period of rapid growth. Very soon, there will be a large number of talents and powerhouses. When that time comes, Nanjiang can prepare everything on its own, no longer needing to rely on external forces. It's just a short-term cooperation, but if Nanjiang relies on the major companies now, then it will always have to rely on them in the future. Nanjiang's martial artists will become workers for the major companies in the future. The existence of the major companies is a good thing, I don't deny this. In a situation where resources are limited, the major companies are actually meritorious by concentrating resources, unifying production, and supplying the whole country. Fong Ping said seriously. No one will deny this point. In the early days, the major companies made a great contribution to the prosperity and rise of martial artists. Including those profits, in the end, all went into the government's finance. That's why there are hundreds of billions of martial arts university funding and trillions of military department funding every year. But that was in the past. At that time, there were fewer entrances to the catacombs and fewer outputs. But now, there are as many as 23 entrances to the catacombs, and the major companies are still in a monopoly position. Actually, it is no longer just for the sake of martial arts for all. At this time, actually, we should not continue to monopolize. Instead, we should reduce the cost of cultivating martial artists so that more martial artists and powerhouses can emerge. In the past, cultivating a rank 1 martial artist required at least 1 million, or even more. How many civilian families could afford it? The price of pills is high and never goes down. It only goes up and never goes down. But in reality, our output is increasing every year. It is true that the opening of the catacombs entrance is a crisis, but it is also an opportunity for mankind. Moreover, we are actually doing artificial cultivation of some raw materials ourselves. Now, the energy concentration on Earth has increased. The pill companies have already set up many cultivation bases for medicinal herbs. But now, they're still constantly squeezing the benefits that martial artists deserve. This is basically neglecting the essentials for the sake of the trifles. I think the central government has also considered this point. That is why MCMAU's request to expand the on-campus production line was approved. MCMAU has started. I think that in the future, this kind of situation will continue to appear and continue to increase. Nanjiang must also be prepared for this. That is why Nanjiang cannot rely on the major companies blindly, but must consider Nanjiang's own interests. Fong Ping said a lot, and everyone listened in silence. Wang Jinyang and the others felt that it was quite reasonable, but Zhang Dingnan felt a little bitter. It was easy to say, and the logic was also reasonable. The key was that it was difficult to put into practice. Nanjiang's martial arts strength was not strong to begin with. It was not that easy to achieve self-sufficiency. Taking a deep breath, Zhang Dingnan pondered for a long time. Finally, he said, "I can agree to what you said, but you have to think about it carefully. If this happens, MCMU will also become a public target." Fong Ping said nonchalantly, "If you want to become stronger, you'll have to violate the taboos of those with vested interests." But I believe that the central government still understands these principles. The government actually has the intention to reform. I believe that many people can see this. If you want everyone to learn martial arts, if you want more martial artists and powerhouses, the most basic point is to reduce the cost of cultivation. That is inevitable. Even if we do not steal business, the major companies will still have to lower their prices in the future. MCMAU is just the beginning. If the major companies, including some beneficiaries, really feel that MCMAU has violated taboos and robbed their interests, they will not do anything openly. At most, they will find some trouble in private. However, MCMAU is not afraid of anything. Do you think they will really dare to go to war with us? If they can't, then they can only suppress us through some channels, such as reducing the supply to us. However, when that time comes, MCMU will not care about their supply. Actually, they're just paper tigers. Unless they risk universal condemnation and directly attack us. The key is that MCMAU is the top elite school. They have to think about the consequences. Zhang Dingnan said quietly. What about you? Me? Fong Ping chuckled. If they want to attack me, then they have to think about the consequences. Not to mention that I am not that easy to deal with. Even if they can, they have to think about whether it is that easy to withstand the wrath of several Grandmaster powerhouses. As he said that, Fong Ping tilted his head and said, Dean Li is broken through. Next, Dean Tang will also break through soon. My instructor will also break through soon. This includes Vice-Chancellor Chun from SCMAU, the other 3 Grandmasters from MCMAU, and even some of MCMU's seniors who have graduated. Also, powerhouses like you, Governor General Zhang, who have the heart to change. Will they be indifferent? I, Fong Ping, am nothing, but after I am dealt with, countless people will emerge. This is not my personal matter, but the entire martial arts world's matter, Tang Feng said in a low voice. This is MCMU's matter, not a personal matter. If anyone dares to attack, then don't blame us for ignoring the big picture. Frontline martial artists are in a precarious situation. Back then was back then. It was only right for frontline soldiers to contribute more. They should contribute for the prosperity of martial arts. But now, it is time for change. If the price of martial arts cultivation is not lowered, how can more martial artists emerge? How difficult it is for a civilian family to produce a martial artist. 23 catacombs entrances have opened, not just 1 or 2 like back then. Since the government is prepared to make the catacombs public, then they must give civilians the hope of becoming martial artists instead of just publicizing the news and doing nothing. How much is the raw material for a normal vitality pill? Even if you add in various expenses, the final price will not exceed 30,000. Right now, the selling price is 100,000. How many families can afford it? MCMU cultivates martial artists, not only those martial artists who are passed down from generation to generation. We actually hope that there will be a large number of civilian students and civilian martial artists. Martial artists should not be products of the privileged class. Reform is imperative. Fong Ping could not help but glance sideways. Big Lion was really good at talking. He had not realized it before. This Big Lion was not playing dumb, was he? Zhang Dingnan glanced at the people of MCMAU and said no more. MCMAU having this intention was a good thing for the martial arts world. As for how the major companies would weigh it, it was none of his business. MCMAU was not to be trifled with. They had a few grandmasters, and there were also many grandmasters who had graduated. They were much stronger than Nanjiang. Zhang Dingnan felt that there was a high chance that the major companies would pinch their noses and accept it. Would they really start a war with MCMU? If that happened, MCMU would not have to do anything. The central government and the military department would destroy them. Both parties had reached an agreement, which meant that the cooperation between Nanjiang and MCMAU had officially begun. Chapter 394. Zhang Dingnan and the others quickly left. After they left, Tang Feng and the others did not linger and quickly left. At that moment, Lu Fengru frowned and said, "Do you really think of yourself as the headmaster? Let others take the lead in these matters. What kind of bird are you?" MCMAU is my home. Development depends on everyone. Don't bullshit with me. Lu Fengru cursed. She was full of dissatisfaction. He had nothing to do. Asking for trouble. Fong Ping grinned. I think MCMAU is still too weak now, whether it's in terms of martial arts strength or economic strength, including influence. That has nothing to do with you. How is that unrelated? Fong Ping retorted, I'm the president of the Martial Arts Society. I'm governing MCMU together with the university leaders. Have you considered the dangers? Lu Fengru said with a straight face, don't think too highly of the human heart. Yes, humans have a great enemy now, and martial artists are also fighting on the front lines, risking their lives. However, don't treat everyone as a hero. A hero might not be without stains or selfishness. Who would dare to say that they had no selfish motives? No one dares. Do you? Did I? Are there any grandmasters who died in battle? Both. Fong Ping nodded and said, of course I'm not that stupid. I definitely have my own selfish motives, but on the surface, no one will touch me. I can't take the risk. As for entering the catacombs, to be honest, if they really did enter the catacombs, who knew who would be the one getting screwed over? Unless they join forces with the catacombs martial artists. Otherwise, if they really have any ideas about me, I'll kill them all. I wasn't that careless. Once I entered the catacombs, I wouldn't easily trust anyone other than my acquaintances. Even if it's someone I know, I won't trust him completely without any ill feelings. Lu Fengru scoffed. Think about it more. Don't blame me for not reminding you if you die. Don't worry, instructor. I'm already a rank 5. The next time I enter the catacombs, I might be a rank 6 or even a grandmaster. If I really become a grandmaster, unless it's a rank 9, who else can kill me? Lu Fengru snorted again. Rank 5? It was hard to hear. I'm still at the 6th pin. Fong Ping's progress was really unbearable. He could not even feel gratified. Could he at least wait until he reached rank 7 before breaking through? If she did not achieve a breakthrough soon, in a few days, the master-disciple pair would be at rank 6. If outsiders praised Lu Fengru for her teaching skills and for surpassing her master, would anyone consider her feelings? It was too sad. The more she thought about it, the more uncomfortable she felt. Lu Fengru's gaze was unfriendly as she asked, do you have any more life essence? Fong Ping coughed dryly. Just as he was about to speak, Lu Fengru cut him off. Give me 180 caddies. Fong Ping was dumbfounded. He really dared to open his mouth. 180 Gene. Did he really think it was plain water? That's all. Cut the crap. I'll buy it with money. No. I'll use the shares of the pill company to exchange for it. How about it? There's really nothing left. Lu Fengru's gaze was unfriendly. Good lad, you're good. You let Li Chongqing eat a few hundred caddies. I wouldn't sell it even if I bought it from you. Fong Ping said with a bitter expression, Teacher, think about it. It's not that easy to keep this thing. You didn't know that I was being hunted down by many people. I had no choice but to swallow so much of it for Teacher Li. If I don't swallow it, I won't be able to bring it away. How about this? I'll snatch some more for you next time. Lu Fengru's expression darkened. She ignored him. Do you really think I'm stupid? How could it be so easy to get it? Fong Ping felt a headache coming on. He pondered for a moment and said, Teacher, if you want to break through, I don't think you need that much, right? The energy of life essence was extremely rich. The difficulty for Lu Fengru to break through now was that she could not achieve mentality-vitality fusion, and nothing else. She wanted life essence because she wanted to use a large amount of energy to impact it and see if she could force the fusion. Lu Fengru stared at him for a while. After a while, she said, I don't know. I'll try. How much do you have? Less than 10 grams. Lu Fengru did not utter a word. She just stared at him. 10 grams. Do you think I'll believe you? Fong Ping looked pained. He said helplessly, All right, I'll tell you the truth. I still have a little about 30 grams. Teacher, that's quite a lot. The energy concentration of life essence is extremely rich. 30 grams is at least equivalent to the effect of 300 grams of cultivation-aiding energy stones, and it can only be better. That's too little. I really don't have any more. Lu Fengru continued to stare at him. After a while, she said, "Give me 500 grams to try." Fong Ping's expression stiffened. "I really don't have any." "Teacher, I really don't have that much." "How much do you have?" 50 grams. All right. I'll be honest. 100 grams. Really, that's all I have." Lu Fengru muttered, "I haven't tried the effects of life essence before. It's hard to say how it will be. Let's go back to MCMEU first and try it in the energy room. If it's not enough, you can continue to add more." Fong Ping almost vomited blood. "You still don't believe me." "I really don't have much left." The life essence that Fong Ping had left now was about 200 grams at most. It was really not much. While the master-disciple pair were talking, more people came. This time, it was Commander Zhou Dinghua who had brought people along. "Fong Ping." Zhou Dinghua greeted him, smiling as he introduced Minister Shui from the Catacombs Intelligence Department. He's here to understand the situation. Fong Ping's head hurt instantly. Trouble. He knew that once the matter of breath concealment was exposed, it would definitely be noticed. However, before using it, Fong Ping knew that he had to face this obstacle. This matter was indeed quite important. Zhou Dinghua came with a man and a woman. The man looked like he was in his 40s, while the woman was in her 30s. Neither of them spoke much. After entering the door, they looked at Fong Ping first, then nodded at Lu Fengru. After Zhou Dinghua finished his introduction, the middle-aged man called Minister Shui said, "Student Fong Ping, we're here to understand the specific situation within 9 Southern Territory this time." As soon as he spoke, Fong Ping's eyebrows twitched slightly. 9 Southern Territory. Fong Ping dared to guarantee that among those who entered the catacombs this time, he was the only one who knew about this. The others were either being hunted or killing people. Who would have the time to understand these things? Of course, he could not rule out the possibility that Zhou Dinghua and the others had reported the news. They could also have captured some catacombs martial artists for questioning. Fong Ping exhaled and did not ask further. He would find out the inside story sooner or later. As Minister Shui spoke, he looked at Lu Fengru and said, "Teacher Lu, can you step aside for a moment?" Before Lu Fengru could say anything, Fong Ping said, "It's not a big secret. I've also reported it to my instructor. Let's listen together." Minister Shui raised his eyebrows slightly, but did not say much. The female martial artist beside him also frowned, but did not say anything in the end. The few of them took their seats. Minister Shui said, "Let me introduce myself first. My name is Shui Ba. This is the Catacombs Intelligence Department's Southern Territory Division Chief." Wang Ying, after a few introductions, Shui Ba said, "Student Fong, you can tell us in detail about everything that happened in 9 Southern Territory this time." Fong Ping heard this and did not hesitate. Soon, he told everything that happened in the catacombs. The other party did not interrupt. He kept recording and also turned on the recording device. When Fong Ping finished, Shui Ba said, "You said that you snuck into gigantic Willow City and hid it from everyone, including the rank 9 monster plant?" "Yes." "If it's convenient, Student Fong, can you demonstrate your secret skill of concealment?" Fong Ping thought for a moment and said, "The price I paid was not small." Shui Ba frowned slightly, then smiled and said, "Student Fong, you can try it. If anything goes wrong, you can stop it in time." "All right then." Fong Ping did not say much. Very soon, the celestial bridge appeared. This time, other than Zhou Dinghua, everyone could not help but frown. It was too ugly. Was this the celestial bridge? Lu Fengru was shocked. What was going on? Fong Ping did not care about them. A large amount of mentality and vitality force surged into the celestial bridge. Then, a large amount of celestiality appeared. As the few of them stared with their mouths agape, Fong Ping gritted his teeth and suddenly injected celestiality into his body. Blood flowed from his mouth. Then a large amount of mentality emerged and began to surge into his body. Then the bone marrow force emerged in his body. This happened again and again. Fong Ping activated the energy shield. His aura disappeared. Shui Ba and the others were confused. This was his method? Mentality, vitality force, celestiality, bone marrow force. Only then did Fong Ping open his mouth to speak. Actually, I only discovered this characteristic after randomly trying it out. The various forces fused and converged into the body. Then, the aura disappeared. As for the principle behind it, I'm not sure. Guardian Wu once deduced that I might have developed a brain nucleus prematurely. Then, the mutation of the brain nucleus triggered a series of chain reactions. Seeing that the other party was about to speak, Fong Ping immediately said, I've already reported it to the Southern House of Guardians, the Military Department, the House of Governors of Nanjiang, and Magic City Martial Arts University. This time, when I return to Magic City, I'll go to the Research Institute to do a detailed examination. Actually, I've done it before, but I didn't find anything. If the government needs it, I can sacrifice my life for the country. Cut open my head and take a look. After saying this, the few of them could not say anything else. Shuaba was speechless. After a while, he said, Student Fong Ping, the method of aura concealment is very important. It might affect the entire war situation of the entire human race. Fong Ping was extremely cooperative. He said, I know. That's why I want to understand it too. This time, I'll go to the Research Institute to do an examination. If I still can't find anything, I'll cut off my head. It doesn't matter if it works or not. At most, I'll die. As martial artists, we fight for humanity in our country. Whether I die in the catacombs or on the surface, it's still a contribution to the country. Wang Ying could not help but say, Fong Ping, this is not a joke. I hope that you can cooperate with us to do a detailed investigation in Capital City. Fong Ping asked in surprise. Magic City can't do it. Could it be that the Research Institute in Magic City is too low-level? I can report to the Magic City government and the military department. I can let the people from the government and the military department accompany me. It shouldn't be a problem, right? How about this? I'll cut open my head now and let both of you see if there's anything unusual. Maybe you can find something. As he said that, Fong Ping picked up the chaos-vanquishing saber beside him and was about to chop off his own head. Shuaba and Wang Ying did not say a word. Did you really think that we would believe you? Lu Fengru, who was beside them, saw Fong Ping giving her a look. She glared at him impatiently before saying, What nonsense. When we get back to Magic City, go and do a thorough investigation. Don't be unaware that there's a problem. All right, I'll definitely do a detailed examination. Fong Ping readily accepted her advice and immediately sheathed his saber. The two-man show between the two of them was too perfunctory. Shuaba did not bat an eyelid, but Wang Ying looked displeased. Fong Ping, this is not a joke. Fong Ping laughed. Of course it's not a joke. I know it's not a joke, and I've never treated it as a joke. However, as a mutated martial artist, there are some things that even I don't understand. It's not that I don't want to cooperate. When I get back to Magic City, I'll go through an examination. I'll cooperate and be supervised by the government and the military department. Is there a problem with this? Both of you, don't you trust the Magic City government and the military department? The central government asked both of you to come here. Do you really want to cut me open and study it? I don't think that's the way to treat mutated martial artists. I'm very cooperative with everyone, and I really want to contribute to humanity. Otherwise, I wouldn't have exposed this at all. I just don't want too many humans to die. This time, everything I've done in the Nanjiang catacombs is for humanity, for the country, for everyone. I didn't shirk my responsibilities, did I? I didn't say that I won't cooperate, did I? Before this, I've already done research on compatibility. You might have gotten those research materials. Don't tell me that we have to force all mutated martial artists to hide their strength in the future. It's not like that. At this time, when the enemy is right in front of us, why should we hide? Why should we cause everyone to feel insecure? Mutation is also not something we can control. The stronger we are, the more help we can be to humanity. Isn't this the truth? The two people in front of him did not utter a word. Zhou Dinghua, who was beside them, did not speak either. Fong Ping smiled and sat down. He continued, Whatever you asked, I've answered truthfully without hiding anything. Next, I'll also go for a checkup. If there are results from the research, then I'll be happy. If there are no results, then there's nothing I can do. Hiding these things from me won't do me any good. Ba inhaled softly and said thoughtfully. In other words, student Fong Ping is not willing to go to Capital City to do the research on compatibility. Fong Ping smiled. Magic City is fine. This is very important. I don't need Minister Shui to remind me so many times. I know it's very important. Isn't Magic City Sino Nation's territory? What are you worried about? Fong Ping said faintly, I'm not worried about anything, but I'm too outstanding. Now I'm determined to change some things. I'm afraid that if I go to Capital City, it'll be difficult for me to come back alive. I'll be frank. Both of you insist that I go to Capital City. I have reason to suspect that you're colluding with someone. Of course, this is a little too serious. If both of you really want me to go, that's fine. How about this? I'll call the 4 grandmasters from MCMAU and a few other grandmasters. With their company, I can go. I'm a person who doesn't mind expressing my doubts. If it's really a coordinated investigation, it's not a big deal. I have nothing to hide from others. In a public situation, everything is fine. If it's still not enough, I can even call back the old MCMAU students and gather 10 to 20 grandmasters to accompany me. This won't be a problem. The expressions of the 2 people opposite him changed slightly. Fong Ping smiled again. Of course, I don't think it's necessary to go through so much trouble. How about this? Both of you accompany me to Magic City. Under your supervision, I'll do the inspection. Is that okay? Lu Fengru did not say a word. Zhou Dinghua looked up at the ceiling. Fong Ping could not be blamed for this matter. He agreed to cooperate, but he chose to do it in Magic City. This was fine. Moreover, with the military department, the House of Guardians, and the Magic City government supervising, Fong Ping was not a nobody. He was also a rank 5 prodigy martial artist. With MCMU support, no one could say anything wrong. Ba was still in deep thought. Wang Ying looked angry. She said unhappily, Fong Ping, are you threatening us? Fong Ping was shocked. He said in surprise, why do you say that? I'm so cooperative, and you say that I'm threatening you. Director Wang, don't think that you can talk nonsense and slander me just because you're a woman. As he said that, Fong Ping suddenly laughed. Right, I heard that Director Wang is related to someone from the pill company. Is that true? Don't tell me you want to go to Capital City to kill me, but you need to find more people. You're only a rank 5. Do you believe that I can kill you with one hand? I've killed more rank 5 and 6 martial artists in the catacombs than you've ever seen. Don't treat me like a criminal. Ask Commander Zhou, am I a criminal? I've bled for humanity. Do you expect me to cry? Ask if MCMU agrees, if Magic City agrees, if Nanjiang agrees. Fong Ping snorted and humphed. Don't put on airs in front of me. Don't give me that. I've already consulted Guardian Wu and Alliance Leader Zhao. These 2 rank 9 high grandmasters said that we can do a cooperative inspection in Magic City. Do you really think that I don't know anything? I've seen many rank 7, 8, and 9 powerhouses. If you insist that I go to Capital City, I have reason to suspect that you're spies from the evil sect. Fong Ping, Ba said in a low voice, be careful with your words. You can't just say things like that. Fong Ping hurriedly apologized. Minister Shui, please forgive me. I said it in a moment of anger. Other things aside, Fong Ping, can be considered a hero, right? This time in Nanjiang's catacombs, I've destroyed half of Royal City. Don't tell me that I didn't contribute at all. Minister Shui, do you think there's something wrong with what I said? Ba pondered for a moment. After a while, he said, all right, you can go to Magic City for the inspection. Thank you very much then. Minister, Wang Ying looked indignant. This guy was too arrogant. Ba pressed his hands together, stood up and said, thank you very much for cooperating with us this time, Student Fong. We won't disturb you any further. Take care, Minister Shui. Fong Ping sent them off with a face full of enthusiasm. After they had walked for a while, they had not gone far when Fong Ping said casually, I knew that someone would come. I didn't expect that it would really be the pill company and the weapon company who sent them. That Wang Ying, isn't her brother-in-law the vice president of the pill company? TSK, my MCMU's intelligence is really powerful. I can actually predict that the other party will send people. Sigh. Human hearts are not what they used to be. Do they really think that I, Fong Ping, can be intimidated? So many rank 9s couldn't kill me. Do they want to kill me with this small matter? What a joke! Bah! Forget about rank 5s. Even if a real rank 9s come, can they kill me? If rank 9s were all like this, Sino Nation would have been destroyed long ago. Mankind would have been destroyed long ago. Sitting at the back, Mother Asterisk Kerr, doing nothing but relying on my sister and brother-in-law to achieve rank 5. Those of us who go to the battlefield to kill the enemy are also only rank 5. This is so King unfair. Reform must be carried out. Under the irresistible force of the times, do you think an individual can stop it? Even a rank 9 will be crushed in this general trend. I, Fong Ping, am not one to be scared. Rank 9, Senior Wu and Old Zhao Tu. Try and touch me. In front, the few people's footsteps slowed slightly. Very quickly, they strode away again. As soon as they left, Lu Fengru let out a light humph. Trouble is coming. As she said that, she asked curiously, "How do you know that there's a problem?" Fong Ping grinned. "Instructor, I'm not stupid. Actually, I guess that someone would come long ago. As for the information, cough cough. Old Zhang said it." "Old Zhang? Governor General Zhang." Fong Ping chuckled. "I'm returning the favor. Old Zhang is still counting on me to help him guard Nanjiang. These people had just made their move when Old Zhang sent someone to inform me. I also did some research on them. They might not want to kill me. Probably not. But if I really go to Capital City, there will be a lot of trouble. Maybe they will deliberately torment me. I'm not stupid." "Is Wang Ying really from the pill company?" Fong Ping chuckled. "Capital City is involved in too many things. Actually, it's just a wild guess. I think she has a distant cousin or something. She's somewhat related to the pill company. I just said it casually. Who knows if it's related or not? I can't be bothered with her." This woman glared at me the moment she came in. Her vitality is unstable. I don't like her, so I deliberately provoked her. Lu Fengru was completely speechless. "You're really something." However, even after being scolded by Fong Ping, the other party did not say anything. Fong Ping might not be making wild guesses. This kid cherished his life very much. If he did not have some confidence, he would not have said those words on purpose. The negotiation with Nanjiang just ended. It hasn't even started. How did they know? Fong Ping shook his head. It might not be related to now. Maybe it's the aftermath of the last time. The 10 high grandmasters threatened them. Now, they probably know that I instigated them, so they're trying to put me in my place. Lu Fengru seemed to have a slight headache. After a while, she said, "Let's go back to Magic City. Don't cause trouble. You've caused a lot of trouble now." Fong Ping did not deny at this time. He nodded and said, "I know. That's why MCMAU wants to become stronger. I want to become stronger too. There are some things I can't hide. Tell me, if I really hide the matter of breath holding, will Instructor Lee survive?" Let's not talk about Instructor Lee. To put it bluntly, if I didn't play a role, there would be a lot of fighting at the passageway. It wouldn't be as easy as it is now. If I don't do my best, people will die. Many people will die. If MCMAU doesn't reform, then we'll continue to suffer exploitation. How can we become stronger? How can we fulfill the dream of one school suppressing one catacomb? You've gained a student like me. How great is that? Get lost. Chapter 395. It's difficult for MCMU to grow stronger. In the tent, Fong Ping sighed once again. At this moment, Old Man Li and the others had arrived. Tang Feng was there too. Hearing that, he said in a low voice, "It's just a small number of people. There's no need to care. MCMU instructors and students won't sit and watch." Old Man Li said casually, "What are you afraid of? Would they really dare to touch you? Even if you go to Capital City, it's nothing." "I'm not going. Even if you kill them, what's the use?" Having said that, Fong Ping said in a low voice, "I won't take these things to heart. Instructors, other than Dean Luo, who is leading the team here, The rest will return to MCMEU now. Also, summon all rank 6 instructors back to school. Prepare for the Celestiality Cultivation Room immediately. Strive to make everyone stronger. Also, open the Energy Room and Vitality Pool to all students. As for the money, owe it for now. It's not too late to return it later. Fees? Tang Feng was stunned. Fong Ping said in surprise, "Of course, reaping without sowing is not a martial artist's way of thinking. Instructor, do you really think it's appropriate to be free?" This is also true. Yes, that's what I mean. You guys can go back first. Also, I'll lower the price of the pills sooner or later. Fong Ping snorted, his gaze dangerous. Geniuses can also come from the civilian class. The price of the pills is too expensive, and this is called martial arts for all? Are you kidding me? The government will take these into consideration, Lu Fengru advised again. I know, but how soon is sooner? There will always be people who will be the vanguard of this reform. Fong Ping, am not talented, but I'll try being the vanguard. If I was still rank 3 or 4, or if I wasn't the president of MCMEU Martial Arts Society, I wouldn't have mentioned it. But now I'm not. Moreover, I have a group of like-minded comrades. The future is ours. Breaking the old rules is what we should do. Our generation of martial artists is not willing to be ordinary, nor will we be willing to be unknown, to be on the defensive all our lives, to be oppressed by the threat of the catacombs all our lives. I'm not that great. I have my own selfish motives, but I don't want to see my children still fighting in the front line years later. Fong Ping smiled. Also, I'm doing all of this to better take over MCMAU. Instructors, please support me. Lu Fengru had a splitting headache. After a while, she said, "Do you really want to take over MCMAU? Of course, how could it be fake? Do you think Wu Quishan will agree? Why not? I didn't say I'd be the vice-chancellor. I just think that I should be in charge of MCMAU's big and small matters." Is there any difference between this and the principal? Of course there is. I'm serving the vice-chancellor. I'm not the vice-chancellor myself. Under Vice-Chancellor Wu's leadership, MCMEU will go even better. Lu Fengru was helpless. She asked again, "What if he doesn't agree?" "It's not up to him," Fong Ping said casually. "Teacher Li, you'll support me, won't you?" Old man Li said nonchalantly, "I don't even understand why you have to poke your nose into other people's business. Let me tell you, if old Devil Wu flips out, I might not be able to stop him. It's okay. At most, I'll just get beaten up. Anyway, everything is for MCMEU." The crowd didn't say anything else and left. After they left, Fong Ping mumbled, "Can I not take over MCMAU? If I don't, I'll always feel like I'm working for others for free. I'll always feel like I'm doing stupid things. If I take over, I'll feel like I'm cultivating my own power." Fong Ping was not so noble to be a hero who gave for free. He felt that it was too much of a loss. However, if he did not give for free, he still had some ability. He might be able to seize more energy stones and more cultivation resources in the future. Should he sell them for money? Why would he need so much money? What was the use of having so much money? Now that he had taken over MCMEU, he would take it as cultivating his own power. He felt much better. As for breaking the monopoly, it did not conflict with MCMEU's development. If MCMEU wanted to develop faster, this was also something that must be done. At the same time, he could buy some people's hearts and rope in more allies. It was something that was beneficial but not costly. That night, Old Man Li and the others rushed back to MCMEU. Fong Ping was not in a hurry. The others were not too worried about his safety either. On the ground, they would not be so unscrupulous. Besides, they were in Nanjiang's territory. At this moment, many rank 9 powerhouses in the country were paying attention to this place. No one would act recklessly. Sun City. When Fong Ping opened the door and entered, the entire family who were eating could not help but look at him. Why did he suddenly come back? Fong Ping chuckled. "Dad, Mom, I'm back. Round face, go and get me a bowl of rice. I haven't eaten in a long time." Fong Yuan puffed up her cheeks. Her excitement from earlier was gone. What a hateful guy. Hateful as she was, the little girl still went to get the rice gloomily. She was still counting on Fong Ping to protect her. Fong Ping chuckled as he sat down. He picked up a piece of pork rib and chewed it in one bite. Even the bones were chewed into pieces. He said happily, "It tastes good, Mom. Your cooking is still as good as ever." Li Yueying came back to her senses. She was both annoyed and amused. "Every time you come back suddenly, you don't even say hello." My phone ran out of battery. I flew back. Ryan was not far from here. This time, he really flew back. Li Yueying did not think much of it. She thought he flew back by plane. Fong Yuan, who had just gotten the rice, said in shock, "You flew back?" "Of course. Your brother is rank 5 now. I fly really fast." "Rank 5? Fong Yuan's mouth was wide open enough to stuff an apple. Fong Ping. Rank 5. Talent 699. Was it that terrifying? You're only in the first semester of your sophomore year. Fong Ping laughed as he ate. So what? When I return to MCMU tomorrow, I'm going to take over. Age isn't a problem. As long as a person has strength and brains, everything else isn't a problem. Round face. Don't call me that again. Fong Yuan was exasperated. She had scooped rice for nothing. Fong Ping laughed. Fine, fine, fine. You're a big girl now. You need your pride. I understand, Fong Ping said as he wolfed down his food. He had not eaten for a few days. After a while, Fong Ping asked, "How's your cultivation going?" "It's all right. I just checked a few days ago. Vitality is 175 calories now." "Oh, not bad. You're almost twice honing." "Good. You didn't embarrass me too much." Fong Ping laughed. He looked at his father, who was quietly watching him, and smiled. "Dad, is everything all right in Sun City recently? Commander Bai has been quite nervous these days." Fong Mingrong said softly, "Something seems to have happened in Ryan." "Yes, there was a small problem. It's not a big deal. It's already been resolved." Fong Ping chewed on the bone and continued, "Dad, Mom, sometimes I'm quite busy. My phone might not be able to get through. If you have urgent matters and can't find me, you can ask the Nanjiang House of Governors for help." This time, I did a big favor for Nanjiang's House of Governors. They won't reject me for normal things. As soon as he said that, Fong Mingrong's body stiffened slightly. What did his son do this time? Fong Yuan looked interested. She quickly sat down next to him and asked excitedly, "Fong Ping, what did you do this time? Why do you care so much?" As Fong Ping said that, he saw her round face stretching toward him. He pinched it and said happily, "You've put on some weight. It's nice to the touch." Fong Yuan was about to cry. She said angrily, "I didn't put on weight." "Dad, Mom, I didn't put on weight, did I?" The couple could not help but laugh, but they did not say anything. Fong Ping laughed too. After a while, he said, "Don't mind this. Cultivate well and study hard. Your brother is getting stronger and stronger, and his status is rising too. Living in this world, people will always offend some people. They're not exactly enemies, but there are people who don't like your brother. They might not dare to vent their anger on my family, but it's better to be careful. I'm too busy and don't have time to take care of the family. You, on the other hand, are a little adult now, the pillar of the family. As long as you're stronger, I'll be at ease and feel at ease. I didn't say this before because I didn't want you to worry about me. Now, though, I'm getting stronger. I'm not worried about myself anymore. I'm worried about you. Some people are narrow-minded. They can't do anything to me, so they come after you. That's not good. If you've been wronged or bullied, don't hide it. Don't keep it in your heart. Tell me. It's necessary to make an example out of a few people." Fong Ping said it casually, but Fong Mingrong and his wife's expressions changed. They looked worried. Fong Yuan could not care less about getting angry. She said quickly, "Brother, did you beat someone up again?" "More or less, but it's more serious." "So, you really have to cultivate hard, okay?" "Yes." Fong Yuan nodded heavily. She was feeling the pressure. Fong Ping laughed for a while and continued eating. The living room fell into silence. After dinner, Fong Ping pulled Fong Yuan into the training room. He gave some of the remaining energy essence to Fong Yuan. This thing was a gentle type. If it was an energy stone, Fang Yuan might not be able to withstand it if the energy was too strong. She might even explode. Of course, he did not give her much, just a small drop. Fang Yuan was confused. She did not know what this thing was, so she did not pay much attention to it. When the siblings were talking, the little girl could not help but ask, "Brother, you said you want to take over MCMU?" "Yes." "How is that possible? Didn't you say that there are grandmasters in your school?" "What's wrong with grandmasters?" Fang Ping laughed. "Little girl, when you enter the martial arts world, you'll understand how great your brother is. Of course, when that day comes, your brother will probably become a grandmaster too, so you don't have to think too far ahead. But my talent is only 160. Cough, cough. That's nothing. The potion I gave you just now was to increase your talent. If you don't believe me, you'll know when you cultivate next." Fang Yuan was skeptical. There was a potion that increased talent? "Don't doubt me. It's true." "Really?" "Of course. How much is my talent now?" "It's almost 200. When I have good stuff in the future, I'll let you try them all. It'll rise to 400 or 500 sooner or later." When Fang Yuan heard this, her face lit up with joy. She was satisfied. Her brother was the best. Fang Ping continued to pinch her cheeks happily. The little girl was so gullible. She believed everything he said. The next day, Fang Ping said goodbye to his family and went back to school. At the same time, Fang Ping returned to school. McMao, Vice-Chancellor's office. Wu Quishan stood by the window, looking at the students downstairs. He said softly, "We're old." Beside him, Huang Jing chuckled. "We're old to begin with, but we're not so old that we can't move, right?" Wu Quishan said faintly, "He's about to seize power. Didn't I tell you to cultivate in peace and break through rank 9? Wu Quishan did not know whether to laugh or cry. "So I've cultivated to this point, and I still need this kid to plan for my future?" Huang Jing chuckled again. He said, "You can reject him. Would he really dare to force you to give up power?" "What about you?" "Me?" Huang Jing smiled faintly. "As long as MCMU becomes better, I don't care, but I don't feel good about it. Beat him up until he's half dead. Then say, 'You better watch over me, or else I'll kill you.' Say a few harsh words to appear more dignified. What does that mean? Be more dignified and let your power be seized. Your corny jokes aren't funny. Then reject him. Then think of a way to spend more energy on MCMAU." Wu Quishan had a headache. "But I really want to cultivate. There's no other way. You want to cultivate to rank 9, but you also want to hold on to power. You have to choose one as your priority." "What about that kid? He doesn't cultivate?" "He cultivates very quickly. He's already rank 5. His bone marrow mentality celestial bridge. When his skull mutates one day, you'll realize that he's already rank 8 or 9. This stab made Wu Quishan's face darken. "Don't joke with me. How could rank 8 or 9 be so simple?" Huang Jing said faintly, "Don't doubt me. If you don't believe me, just wait and see. This kid is a little demonic." Wu Quishan took a deep breath and said again, "Then from now on, can I retreat behind the scenes and cultivate honestly?" "Not to that extent. At critical times, you still have to stand up and take the blame." Wu Quishan wanted to curse. "All right, I'll let it go. I'd like to see what MCMU will become. Some of the things he's doing now may not be a good thing. MCMU has also been pushed to the teeth of the storm. This is an era where everyone is looking for change. If there's no change, MCMU will continue to follow the prescribed order. If one school suppresses one catacomb, that's a beautiful dream. I don't believe he can do it. Can he do it just by relying on this little change now? Who knows what the future will be like? It's far from enough unless he can step into rank 9 Paragon. At that time, whether he can do it or not, I'll be convinced." Rank 9 Paragon, Huang Jing muttered to himself. Was it possible? That was a new realm. Zhao Xingwu claimed to be close to the Paragon, but in reality, there was still a huge gap. Could Fang Ping make it to this stage? No one could predict it. Huang Jing did not say anything else. It was impossible for Wu Quishan to have no grudge at all. Not to mention Wu Quishan. Did he, Huang Jing, not have any thoughts? However, sometimes he could also try and take a gamble. It might not necessarily not work. It was fine even if it really did not work. When the time came, he would stand up and reform the country. As for Fong Ping, if the reform failed, then he had to bear the consequences honestly. MCMAU could not possibly take the blame for him forever. In the afternoon of December 26, 2009, Fong Ping returned to MCMAU. On this day, the rank 5 Fong Ping called for a school-wide instructors meeting in his own name for the first time. At night, in the school's auditorium, thousands of instructors from both the civil and martial sciences had all arrived. After so many years, other than the old vice-chancellor who was appointed as vice-chancellor in the face of danger as a middle-rank martial artist, Fong Ping was the first person to call for a school-wide instructors meeting as a middle-rank martial artist. At this moment, Fong Ping was still only a sophomore. Chapter 396. In the auditorium, Fong Ping stepped onto the stage, fully clothed. He bowed toward the audience without saying a word. The audience remained silent. Instructors, I have a few things to announce in this general instructor meeting. As Fong Ping spoke, he paused for a moment and looked around the stage. He continued, First, Vice-Chancellor Wu has entered rank 8 now, and rank 9 is just around the corner. He needs to focus on cultivation for the next few days and create a new history for MCMU by giving birth to the first rank 9 high grandmaster in school. Below the stage, Wu Quishan did not say a word. Whatever you say, I don't even know when I will enter rank 9. This is a slap in the face. Second, Deputy Dean Li of the School of Weaponry has broken through to rank 8, raising MCMU's prestige and adding another Grandmaster powerhouse to MCMU. Below the stage, there was a slight uproar. Rank 8. Li Chongqing did not say anything. He had to sit still. I'm not a fake rank 8. I'm real. I'll be real sooner or later. Third, Vice-Chancellor Wu can't waste too much energy on MCMU's trivial matters because he is preparing for a breakthrough. The University Council and the Martial Arts Society will discuss and decide on the school's big and small matters. Nonsense. Fong Ping, the University Council, and the Martial Arts Society will govern together. I think it's more like you are above the Vice-Chancellor. Below the stage, some people could not hold back anymore. Not everyone could accept this. What right did Fong Ping have to take over MCMAU? Just because he was the president of the Martial Arts Society? Just because he was a genius martial artist? Why? Fong Ping ignored the noise and continued. As for the University Council and the Martial Arts Society, they discussed and decided many things in the afternoon. They have made some decisions. I'm here to report to everyone. From next month, which is January 2010, all MCMAU instructors' benefits will be increased by 30%. Below the stage, many of the instructors' expressions changed slightly. Rank 6 instructors, other than the basic benefits, can have 60 hours of cultivation time in the Celestiality Cultivation Room every year. Celestiality Cultivation Room? Many people looked confused. Some rank 6 instructors could not help but ask, does MCMAU have Celestiality Cultivation Rooms? Fong Ping smiled. Not in the past, but there will be in the future. Currently, they are in preparation for construction. But no buts. This is the school's decision. If we can't do it, it means that the school has failed in its duty. The school committee and the Martial Arts Society will bear all the responsibility. Fong Ping continued. Other than that, MCMU's internal pill and weapon production lines will be expanded again. In the future, all the students and instructors of the school would have a certain amount of free cultivation time in the energy room and energy pool. Other than the free cultivation time, the instructors could also advance their future annual salary. If they continued to cultivate, the school would bear the initial costs. Students can also sign future employment agreements with the school or take out loans. The school's loan platform will continue to increase the loan limit and give all students a chance. Below the stage, sounds of discussion arose once again. It didn't sound like much, but it was actually a lot. The teachers' benefits had increased by 30%. This was not a small number. Although MCMAU only had 1,000 instructors, there were about 400 to 500 middle ranks and 400 to 500 rank 3s. But every year, even if the teacher's salary was not as high as that of some enterprises, it was definitely not low. It was close to 10 billion, an average annual salary of 10 million. In reality, it was really not that high. If these middle-rank martial artists went to the enterprise, some of them could get even more. Yet, Fong Ping opened his mouth and increased it by 30%, at least more than 3 billion in expenses. That was not all. The Celestiality Cultivation Room was built. Rank SIXS could cultivate for 60 hours a year for free. What kind of concept was this? 60 hours was really not a short time. Even Grandmasters would need to consume and replenish Celestiality for a few times to continuously supply it for 60 hours. Even if there were not many rank SIXS in MCMAU, at the moment, there were close to 30 rank SIXS. The Energy Room and Vitality Pool were also open to the public. There was free cultivation time, and they could also advance their future time. All this meant one thing: burning money. Burning a lot of money. According to Fong Ping, at least tens of billions of subsidies would be needed. It might not be enough. He also said to increase the loan limit. These loans might not be recovered in a short time. There might be an additional tens of billions of expenses. Where would MCMU get so much money? Although they had obtained the reputation of the top elite university and had an additional tens of billions of funding, at the moment, MCMU was also recruiting students. This was also an expense. Below the stage, the discussion was still ongoing. Fong Ping continued, "These are just some of the current decisions. In the future, MCMU will continue to implement various welfare policies. For example, providing some rank 6 instructors with life essence to help them achieve a breakthrough. Helping some grandmasters forge their own divine weapons. We will even build our own city in the catacombs. We might also see some high-purity energy ores to help the instructors and students cultivate. Everything is possible. Today, everyone may think that I, Fong Ping, am talking nonsense and making empty promises. However, whether it is true or not, whether it can be done, we will naturally find out soon." Fong Ping spoke for a while, paused again, and said, "Now, MCMU has a total of 4 grandmasters. Before I graduate, the number of grandmasters will definitely reach double digits. As for the instructors, we will strive to give more help to the rank 3 instructors, striving to break through to the middle ranks. As for the students, I believe that the embarrassing situation where the number of middle-ranked students is only in the single digits will not happen again. There will also not be a situation where more than half of the school is a rank 1 martial artist. MCMU will become better and stronger. One day, one school suppressing one catacomb will become a reality. As for those who say that I, Fong Ping, want to seize power, I will not defend myself. Everyone, the Vice-Chancellor is a rank 8 powerhouse. Did I, Fong Ping, eat a bear's heart and leopard's heart to seize the Vice-Chancellor's power? Ask yourself, I, Fong Ping, am just a student, a mere rank 5. If what I say and do is harmful to MCMAU, I would not have the chance to say these things. I would have been beaten to death by the instructors long ago. There are several grandmasters and dozens of rank 6 in the school. In this era where the strong are respected, can meddling in other people's affairs make one stronger? If anyone thinks that they can do what I have just said, I, Fong Ping, will not say another word. The Martial Arts Society will fully support this instructor to be in charge of the school's daily affairs. I believe that the grandmasters will not reject it either. Do martial artists cultivate for power? If it was really for power, you and the others might not have stayed in MCMU back then. Many instructors receive a meager salary and risk their lives for MCMAU. What is it for? For dreams. To expel the enemy and pacify the catacombs. What is martial arts? What is a martial arts university? A martial arts university is not a place for power. It is a place to educate people. It is a place to nurture martial artists and nurture powerhouses. Fong Ping's voice grew louder and louder as he said, "With great power comes great responsibility. Martial artists becoming stronger is not to act like a tyrant in a small martial arts university and be the master of the house. Our goal is not here. It is the catacombs. Everything I've done is for MCMEU to have more powerhouses, more talents. The next time I go to the catacombs, I might earn billions and billions. Everyone, do you really think that I, Fong Ping, am wasting my time doing these strenuous and unrewarding things just to poke my nose into other people's affairs? Instructors, when the day comes that you feel that MCMEU has become worse, you can point at me, Fong Ping, and call me, Fong Ping, a sinner of MCMEU. I have nothing to say. But today, I admit that I did not bring MCMEU to that stage. Everything is developing in a good direction. Of course, all of this cannot be achieved without the contributions of all the instructors and the support of the few vice-chancellors. Without the support of the grandmasters, MCMEU would not be able to achieve this. No one could deny this. At this point, Fong Ping did not continue. He bowed and said, "Instructors, if anyone still has any doubts or dissatisfaction, you can voice them now. MCMEU needs to work together. This is not someone's private force, nor is it someone's private garden. This is MCMEU that belongs to all of us. We have the same goal, the same dream. We are gathered together. Our hearts must be in the same place. Only then will MCMEU be better. If you have anything to say, don't keep it to yourselves. Otherwise, MCMEU will become disunited sooner or later." Off stage, there was a moment of silence. After a while, an instructor said, "If we want to leave MCMEU in the future, will there be any restrictions?" Fong Ping smiled and said, "Instructor Chun, you must be joking. Everyone is free. No one is restricting anyone. In this era, do you think something like this will happen? If that's the case, you just need to shout. Those rank 9 powerhouses can kill us. Do you think they will do something like restricting our personal freedom?" Someone else said faintly, then, "Fong Ping, are you a school leader or a student in the future?" "I haven't graduated yet." "Of course, I'm a student." Fong Ping smiled and said, "There's no conflict. Shouldn't students contribute to the school? In the future, do we need to hand over what we obtain in the catacombs to the school?" "Instructor, you must be joking. You obtained this by risking your life. Of course it belongs to you. Of course try to sell it to the school. The school's purchase price will not be lower than the big companies. Now that the school's production line is expanding, we need raw materials urgently." Someone else said, "I have a few graduates who want to return to the school as instructors. Is the school still hiring?" Fong Ping beamed with joy and said, "Of course, but currently, the school is only hiring middle-ranked instructors. Of course, if they are upper stage rank 3 and above and are young, the school will also hire them. Will the school's credits lower the difficulty of obtaining them? I can't rule out this possibility. The possibility is very high. Will the pension system be changed for those who are injured or killed in the catacombs?" Fong Ping said in a low voice, "What I hope to see is that the injury or death rate will be further reduced in the future. Of course, the catacombs are too dangerous. No one can guarantee these things. The school will only take better care of the injured or sacrificed instructors and students. We will definitely not skimp on this. The school will take extra care of the descendants of the sacrificed instructors. They will enroll a batch of students in special enrollment or make an exception. Also, my suggestion for future students is not to enter the catacombs until they are upper stage rank 3. Of course, some special training will not be lacking. Also, to increase the students' sense of crisis, I plan to inform all martial artists about the real situation in the catacombs from next year onwards. I will even allow some students to drop out. If they can't accept the fact that they will have to enter the catacombs in the future, then drop out." Below the stage, there was another uproar. After a while, Wu Quishan, who had been silent all this while, said lightly, "I heard that you are preparing to open a network sharing system with other schools. If other schools need to exchange for MCMU resources, how will the price be determined? If MCMU can't satisfy them, what should we do?" Fong Ping smiled and said, "As for the price, I plan to discuss it with the schools. We will use a unified credit system. The difficulty of obtaining them will be the same, and the price will be the same. Of course, if students from other schools want to exchange for MCMU resources, they will have to pay twice as much as our school. Wu Quishan frowned and said, even if it's twice as much, it will only be equivalent to the value of our previous credits before the reform. MCMU will definitely have a shortage of resources. In the beginning, we will use the raw materials exchange system. The pill and weapon companies will not let this go easily. You will attract a lot of unnecessary opponents for MCMAU. With the strength of martial arts universities, we are not afraid of these companies. Do you think the other martial arts universities will do their best? Of course, they will all benefit and form a new community of interests. Why wouldn't they? Also, I won't include all of them at once. The early stage is only a part of it. MCMU will be under a lot of pressure. Without pressure, where will the motivation come from? If we are afraid of wolves in front and tigers behind, then we can't do anything. Of course, I also understand your worries, Vice Chancellor. When the time comes, I will stand up and take responsibility. If worst comes to worst, I will hide in the catacombs for a while and come out again. I want to see who will hold me, Fong Ping, accountable. Fong Ping's words were powerful and resonant. Many people who heard it felt their blood boiling. Wu Quishan did not speak anymore. After a pause, Huang Jing said softly, "Does anyone have any objections?" Off stage, there was no sound. Since there are no objections, then it's decided. Huang Jing stood up and smiled faintly. Everyone, don't worry. Vice Chancellor Liu, and I will keep an eye on it. MCMU will only get better. Fong Ping smiled too. Instructors, please supervise. If you have any objections, you can raise them at any time. If there are mistakes, then change them. If there aren't, then encourage them. After all, students are still young. There are some things that I haven't thought through thoroughly. Off stage, Old Man Li yawned and said, "These are all trivial matters. Why are you so conflicted? That whatever celestiality cultivation room, get it done as soon as possible." Lu Fengru also said faintly, "I don't care who is in charge of the school. As long as they don't deduct our benefits, everything else is up to them." Tang Feng also said, "As long as the students become stronger and the casualty rate decreases, I have no objections. I hope the school will treat everyone equally and not discriminate against the School of Social Sciences. The School of Production only has this request. I hope we can increase the number of instructors as soon as possible. Currently, we are under a lot of pressure in terms of teaching." The deans and rank 6 instructors of the various schools spoke one after another. The instructors of the other ranks did not say anything else. No matter who was in charge of the school, as long as their own benefits were not affected and the students had more opportunities, then there was no problem. Fong Ping agreed to all of them. With a face full of smiles, he quickly dismissed the meeting. Things were simpler than he had imagined. After the others had left, the next moment, Fong Ping suddenly sprawled on the ground. Wu Quishan looked at him coldly and said softly, "Kid, you can be in charge of the school, but remember, if anything happens to the school, you will have to bear all the responsibilities." The others looked on coldly from the sidelines. No one stepped forward to help. Even Old Man Li pretended not to see it. Wu Quishan was probably extremely stifled right now. If he did not let Wu Quishan vent his anger, what if a rank 8 went crazy from holding it in? As for Fong Ping, what were his plans? Fong Ping did not care. He sprawled on the ground without a care for his image. He grinned and said, "Don't worry, Vice Chancellor. I still have this much responsibility. If anything happens to the school, I will bear it alone. However, just like what I said, I will enter the catacombs to lie low for a while. When I come out again, I will teach those who bully me a lesson." These words were said through clenched teeth. "Old Wu, today you pressed me to the ground, and I could not get up. Tomorrow, I will beat you black and blue." The corner of Wu Quishan's mouth twitched slightly. He increased the strength of his mentality slightly. Someone was gradually pressed into the ground. "You're good, kid. You're still threatening me at this time." Moreover, from what this kid said, it was as if the catacombs were his home. Everyone else treated the catacombs as a dangerous place, but he treated the catacombs as a refuge. "Very good." Wu Quishan said no more. He turned and left. As soon as he left, Fong Ping jumped out from the ground. He grinned and said, "From today onwards, MCMU's surname is Fong." Old Man Li and the others pretended not to hear him. Tang Fong, who was just about to leave, twitched his mouth. He had a nagging feeling that he might not have done anything good this time. This little bastard, could he really make MCMU better? Everyone left one after another. Their feelings were indescribably complicated. Although it was said that the Martial Arts Society and the University Council would govern together, in reality, the other members of the University Council had given up on the idea of governance. Now, MCMU had truly become Fong Ping's word. I hope we're right. At this moment, many people had this thought in their minds. Even Old Man Li was a little worried when he saw Fong Ping's cheeky expression. He was only 19 years old. He was still a young man. I hope that when I die, the instructor won't beat me up. Old Man Li was a little uncertain. When he died, would he be beaten up by the old vice-chancellor? When he thought about it, the possibility was not low. Chapter 397, December 27th, Sunday. MCMAU had not entered the holidays yet. At this moment, it had only been a few days since the second National Martial Arts University Championship. The students were still immersed in the joy of winning first place among the elite schools. Not many people knew that in these few days, many changes had taken place. Although many people didn't know what was going on, the students could feel that something was different with the announcements and appointments on the 27th. On the morning of December 27th, MCMAU announced several appointments to the public. First, the Vice Dean of the School of Weaponry, Li Changsheng, was officially the Dean of the School of Weaponry. Vice Principal Huang Jing was no longer the Dean of the School of Weaponry. Second, the President of the Martial Arts Society, Fong Ping, was also the Secretary General of the University Council. Thirdly, Instructor Lu Fengru would be appointed as the Deputy Dean of the School of Weaponry. These three job changes were dazzling, and some were even dumbfounded. Many people did not know Li Changsheng at all, but now he was the Dean of the School of Weaponry, which was MCMU's biggest and strongest school. As for Lu Fengru, it was still all right for the older students, but not many of the new students actually knew her. Most importantly, Fong Ping, a student, had become the General Secretary of the School Council. What was the school committee? In MCMAU, a few grandmasters and the 4 deans formed the University Council. Before this, there had never been a Secretary General, so the University Council existed in name only. The so-called joint governance of the school leaders and the martial arts club meant that the school leaders were the members of the school committee. Now, Fong Ping had entered the school council as a student. Although he was still a student, he could already be considered a school leader. Secretary General of the school council? Martial arts club. Qin Fengqing was dumbfounded. There's such a move? Did he really succeed in seizing power? What is this? Qin Fengqing felt that he needed to sort out his thoughts. How did it suddenly become like this? Right now, the only rank for martial artists left in the Martial Arts Society were Zhang Yu and Liang Fenghua. Zhang Yu saw Qin Fengqing's dazed expression and could not hold it in any longer. He did not know if he was gloating or something else. He said with a smile, "Qin Fengqing, the MCMU now is not the MCMU of the past. Back then, Qin Fengqing was so arrogant. When he was the president, this brat would find trouble with him and challenge him to a duel. What about now? Wither away. Challenge Fong Ping to a duel. Continue to be a thorn. I'll beat you to death." When Zhang Yu fought with Qin Fengqing back then, he was really merciful. However, when Qin Fengqing found trouble with Fong Ping could beat him until he cried for his parents. Qin Fengqing's expression kept changing. Suddenly, he snorted and said, "What does that have to do with me? I'm going to graduate soon anyway. It doesn't matter." Zhang Yu glanced at him and smiled lightly. "Qin Fengqing, even if you graduate, are you sure you want to leave?" "Nonsense, of course," Qin Fengqing replied. Zhang Yu chuckled. "I heard that the Academy's mentors' benefits have increased by 30%, and that's just the basic benefits. Facilities like the energy room, blood chi pool, spiritual pressure room, and heaven and earth energy room are rare outside. Even if there is, will it be your turn? Also, MCMU's pills, weapons, and combat techniques are the cheapest. Once you leave the university, you won't be eligible to return to the university to exchange for these resources. Qin Fengqing's expression changed again. These things could be found outside, but they were not cheap. Even in places like the government, the military department, and the Department of Investigation Services, resources were actually cheap. They were all at cost price. Most importantly, there was a limit. The government would not allow everyone to buy these things at their cost price without limit. Depending on the grade and job rank, the amount of money that could be exchanged for each month was limited. In MCMEU, as long as you had credits, there was no such thing as a limit. Qin Fengqing had a lot of credits in places like the energy room, so he could stay in a hotel. However, it was different in the outside world. No matter how rich he was with his rank for ability, he could only cultivate for 10 hours a month. There were too many people. Everyone had to take turns. As he thought of this, Qin Fengqing snorted. What's so great about it? When I reach Grandmaster, I can go wherever I want. When that time comes, these things will be useless to me. Zhang Yu saw that he was not afraid. He smiled brightly and nodded. That's good too. If you stay in the university, I'll have a headache. It's good that you're leaving. MCMEU's atmosphere will be much better in the future. Get lost! Qin Fengqing scolded. His embarrassment turned into anger. Don't provoke me. I'm almost peak rank 4. Believe it or not, I'll beat you up. During this trip to the catacombs, he had absorbed a lot of energy stones. The honing of his 5 viscera was almost complete. In addition, he had earned 1,000 credits from the championship, 300 credits from drawing a map, and close to 3,000 credits from exchanging the things he brought back from the catacombs. At this moment, he could be considered to have a small surplus. His net worth was close to 5,000 credits. If he went to the energy room and stayed for a few days, he should be able to reach peak rank 4. Zhang Yu was still indifferent. He smiled faintly. I should be close. It took time to go from middle stage to upper stage rank 4. It was much faster to go from upper stage to peak. Zhang Yu was also a genius martial artist. Ever since he stepped down as the president of the Martial Arts Society, his cultivation progress was not slow. As early as October, he had broken through to upper stage rank 4. Now that 2 to 3 months had passed, he was almost at peak rank 4. I'll beat you up even if I'm in the same rank. Qin Fengqing snorted disdainfully. Zhang Yu smiled without saying a word. This arrogant fellow. Do you really think that I can't do anything to you just because you run fast? However, he could not be bothered with Qin Fengqing. He could continue being arrogant. Sooner or later, he would be taught a lesson. On this day, Qin Fengqing and the others were not the only ones talking about it. It was not just MCMEU students either. Even outside the university, there were many people talking about it. MCMU Fong Ping, a sophomore, not only was he the president of MCMU Martial Arts Society, but he had also entered the university council. This signal was actually quite thought-provoking. The probability of Fong Ping staying in the university was very high. It was not as simple as staying in the university. Now he was the Secretary General of the University Council. What about in the future? Moreover, MCMU's Li Changsheng entering rank 8 had also shocked many people. However, Li Changsheng did not hold a Grandmaster banquet. It was a little low-key. Under normal circumstances, when a person had broken through to Grandmaster, even if he did not hold one himself, the local government or affiliated organizations would hold one. It was not just to boast and show off, but also to celebrate the growth of human strength. Every Grandmaster powerhouse was the pillar of humanity. The difference in strength between Grandmasters and those below Grandmaster was huge. Even a rank 6 who had not reached the stage of mentality-vitality fusion would find it difficult to escape from a Grandmaster. The outside world was talking about it. Inside the university, Old Man Li was sighing. It was not that he did not want to hold one, but he did not dare to. How embarrassing. Now he had boasted that he, Li Changsheng, was a rank 8 powerhouse, but the point was he was not. A rank 8 whose mentality had not reached the stage of external projection? If this was a Grandmaster banquet, Normal people would not be able to tell. However, when one reached the Grandmaster level, if one really wanted to observe, they could still notice some differences. If a rank 7 or 8 martial artist came to the banquet and released their mentality pressure, and Li Chongqing released his vitality to resist, then it would be so embarrassing. In the energy room, Old Man Li glanced at Fong Ping and sighed. Kid, you've boasted, but it'll be exposed sooner or later. I'm embarrassed, but don't think you'll have it easy too. Fong Ping chuckled. What's the rush? It'll happen sooner or later. Right now, your vitality is extremely strong, and the speed at which you nurture your mentality is also extremely fast. The honing of your skull is complete, and you're close to external projection. Go to the pressure room and stay for a while, and mentality manifestation will be a matter of time. Easy for you to say. Old Man Li let out a humph. It would be great if it was that easy. Fong Ping ignored him, turning his head to look at Song Yingji beside him. He grinned and said, Instructor Song, how many of the Sanjiao gates have been sealed? Song Yingji had broken through to rank 6 a few days ago. Back then, Old Song was very proud. When Fong Ping broke through to rank 4, Old Song told him that he was rank 6. Now, Song Yingji's expression was dark. He said sullenly, None of your business. I'm still early stage rank 6, so what? Not convinced? How could it be that easy to break through to rank 6? The sealing of the Sanjiao Gate was not something that could be done in a short period of time. His first Sanjiao Gate was not even 1/3 sealed until now. If he wanted to reach middle stage rank 6, he would need at least 1 or 2 years. As for completely sealing the Sanjiao Gate and achieving peak rank 6, Old Song initially thought that about 10 years or so should be enough. Achieving peak rank 6 before the age of 60. After that, it would depend on luck and opportunities. Whether he could enter Grandmaster in this lifetime, that was really something that could not be guaranteed. Fong Ping grinned. Instructor Song, what are you saying? As the Secretary General of the University Council, it's my duty to show some concern for Instructor Song. Also, Instructor Song has been in the energy room for a few years. Have you considered changing your working environment? Song Yingji said nothing, but his gaze was sharp. Little bastard, what are you trying to do? This health management department of the logistics department seems to be lacking a director. Get lost. I won't do it. Song Yingji was furious. I want to hack you to death. Health management department. Sweep the floor and the toilet. If you ask me to do that, believe it or not, I'll hack you to death. Fong Ping said with a straight face, Instructor, as the saying goes, there's no distinction between high and low in work. Everyone is serving MCMAU. How can you do this? Song Yingji let out a humph. Stop talking nonsense. I won't do it anyway. Instructor, are you really not going? If you go, you can go to the Celestiality Cultivation Room and cultivate for a few more hours. Song Yingji continued to maintain his silence. The salary and benefits are actually not worse than now. There's also additional subsidies. I heard that there are quite a few beauties there. If you keep talking nonsense, I'll fight you. Song Yingji's face was full of hostility. Do you think I'm stupid? There are no beauties in the health management department. Beside him, Old Man Li instigated. Lil Song, if you're a man, don't just talk without action. Are you afraid of him? He's only rank 5. What's there to be afraid of? Fight him. I'll be your referee. Old Man Li wanted to beat Fong Ping up now too, but he was too embarrassed to do so. No matter what, this kid had saved his old life. Song Yingji continued to maintain his dark expression. MCMU had changed. It was no longer the peaceful and friendly MCMAU that he remembered. Li Chongqing had become the dean. Lu Fengru had become the deputy dean. Fong Ping, this bastard, had even become the University Council's Secretary General. He was very pessimistic now. What unknown direction would MCMU go in? As they were chatting, Lu Fengru arrived. At this moment, Lu Fengru's expression was solemn. Behind her, the white-haired Wu Quishan also arrived silently. Vice-Chancellor. Seeing Wu Quishan, Song Yingji was almost in tears. You're finally here. Today's MCMAU had changed. He used to think that Wu Quishan was sinister. Now that he thought about it, no matter how unreliable he was still more reliable than Fong Ping. Wu Quishan nodded slightly and did not say much. As for Song Yingji's aggrieved look, Wu Quishan did not bother to ask what had happened. He just had to get used to it. Without saying much to Song Yingji, Wu Quishan looked at Fong Ping and said in a low voice, "Sorry to trouble you." It was extremely rare for a rank 8 to be so polite to a rank 5 student. Although Fong Ping had written down the account book and would beat old Wu up sooner or later, he hurriedly bowed and smiled. "Vice-Chancellor, don't be so polite. My business is my business. It's just a little life essence." As he said this, Lu Fengru tilted her head and said, "I'll try mentality-vitality fusion later. Remember to keep your energy at full capacity." Fong Ping's expression stiffened. He laughed dryly. "That? Instructor, I only have that much. If you take too long, Lu Fengru turned a deaf ear to him. "That's none of my business. You have to do it even if you want to." Fong Ping pulled a long face. "I really don't have that much." Lu Fengru did not care about him. She took a deep breath and walked into the innermost cultivation room. Song Yingji hurriedly made the wall transparent. Then he pressed a button. A small platform appeared next to the console outside the door. On top of it was a funnel-like, transparent workbench. Later, Dean Lu will need a lot of energy to replenish when you force mentality-vitality fusion. You can pour your life essence here directly. The cultivation room can prevent energy and mentality from overflowing, Song Yingji explained. Beside him, Wu Quishan took a deep breath and exhaled. Fengru's mentality has now exceeded 900 Hz. Her vitality has also reached the limit of 10,000 Cal. It can be said that she has reached the limit of peak rank 6. Under normal circumstances, at this stage, she would have completed mentality-vitality fusion long ago. Peak rank 6 martial artist mentality had reached the stage of external projection. Their vitality force had reached the limit. Although mentality-vitality fusion was a little difficult, it was not too difficult. Lu Fengru, on the other hand, had almost reached the stage of materialization. Yet, she had not completed mentality-vitality fusion. Fong Ping frowned slightly. "It's dangerous to force the fusion, right?" Wu Quishan nodded. "It's definitely dangerous. She has a barrier in her heart. Every time she tries mentality-vitality fusion, her mentality will be unstable. Now, we can only hope that life essence can help her stabilize her mentality." What Lu Fengru lacked was not energy. The real flaw came from herself. Fong Ping did not say anything more. At this moment, inside the room, Lu Fengru's expression was solemn. She began to release her mentality. Then, Lu Fengru's aura changed. Her vitality was released instantly. Even through the energy-shielded cultivation room, Fong Ping could feel that her vitality was extremely thick. Fong Ping and Wu Quishan could feel the invisible mentality clearly. At this moment, Lu Fengru had already tried to integrate her mentality into her vitality, converting it into celestiality. Fong Ping stared for a while. Lu Fengru's mentality and vitality force began to come into contact and fuse. However, as he watched, Fong Ping realized that something was wrong. These two did not show signs of fusion. Instead, they were clearly separated. As soon as mentality entered the range of vitality force, it repelled vitality force. The next moment, a halo appeared on Lu Fengru's body. That was her celestial bridge. Lu Fengru was ready to force the fusion. A large amount of vitality force entered the celestial bridge first, dyeing the sparkling halo red. The red was dazzling and extremely beautiful, as dazzling as a blood jade bracelet. Fong Ping could not help but feel inferior. My celestial bridge is really ugly. There was no time to think too much. Very soon, a small section of transparency appeared in the red halo. That was the integration of mentality. However, it was clearly separated. There was no sign of fusion. On this point, she was different from Fong Ping. Fong Ping's mentality and vitality force entered the celestial bridge. Very soon, there was a fusion. Lu Fengru did not. This was actually extremely unique. Fuse! An angry roar came from the cultivation room. At this moment, Lu Fengru was sweating profusely. Her face was also full of anger and dissatisfaction. Why not? Why not? Others could do it. Why could she not? She only wanted to enter Grandmaster. Why was it so difficult? Among rank SIXS, her mentality and vitality force were definitely the strongest. Why couldn't she integrate them? How unfair was God to her? He gave her hope. Why did he destroy it? A trembling sound was heard. At this moment, Lu Fengru's celestial bridge was alternating between red and white. Mentality and vitality force were colliding fiercely in the celestial bridge. The dazzling celestial bridge had already begun to show signs of cracking. Quick! Wu Quishan looked nervous. He shouted in a low voice. Fong Ping did not delay. At this moment, a small crystal-like bottle appeared in his hand. This bottle was given to him by Old Man Li. It was also a special product of the Big Forces. It was made of the same material as the energy room's wall. It could stop the energy from overflowing. Fong Ping opened the bottle cap and quickly poured some life essence into the funnel. As soon as it was poured in, a large amount of energy began to seep out from the top of the cultivation room, overflowing in the cultivation room. When the cracking celestial bridge came into contact with this energy, it began to repair slowly. The speed of the cracks also began to slow down. The other energy was also absorbed by Lu Fengru. Lu Fengru, who was sweating profusely earlier, no longer looked ferocious. She was much more relaxed. However, this situation did not last long. In the cultivation room, the energy concentration was gradually decreasing. The two forces in the celestial bridge were still colliding with each other. Cracks appeared on the celestial bridge again. Continue. Wu Quishan looked at the room nervously. Seeing that the energy was decreasing, he shouted again. Fong Ping exhaled softly and continued to pour in life essence. In the cultivation room, life essence could be used to the greatest extent. If Old Man Li had swallowed life essence in the cultivation room back then, he would not have needed so much. He might not even have used 1/10 of it. Fong Ping poured in the life essence painfully while thinking about this. Until now, he still felt a little heartache. He had wasted too much back then. Continue. Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. He only had about 200 grams of life essence in total. At this moment, he had already poured almost 100 grams. However, Lu Fengru, who was in the room, still could not complete the integration. At this time, everyone was a little nervous. Lu Fengru's path of mentality-vitality integration was really very difficult. Her mentality was starting to become unstable. The white half of the celestial bridge was already showing signs of shrinking. Without daring to delay, Fong Ping poured in again. Each time it was about 20 grams. 1 gram of life essence might only be equivalent to 5 grams of cultivation-aiding energy stones. However, the repairability within it was something that energy stones did not possess. In terms of real value, it was not something that could be represented by the literal value of 5 times. This time, the consumption was even faster. This was because not only did he have to repair the celestial bridge, but he also had to help Lu Fengru stabilize her mentality. After a while, the continue voice was heard again. Fong Ping gritted his teeth and poured in again. If this doesn't work, I'll have wasted so much life essence this time. Fong Ping's eyes were full of helplessness. In the cultivation room, Lu Fengru was also going crazy. Why? I can't accept this. Crack. A light cracking sound actually came from the room. Wu Quishan's expression changed drastically. Old Man Li also shouted, "Don't be reckless." Instructor, don't rush, don't rush. There's still a lot of life essence. Take it slow. Take it slow. Fong Ping also shouted hurriedly. Lu Fengru almost broke her own celestial bridge. She was too impulsive. Chapter 398. Energy Room. Instructor, don't rush. Chun Yunshi said she wants to recognize you as her godmother. Slap. Fong Ping had just finished shouting when Wu Quishan gave him a slap and scolded, "Don't cause trouble." Fong Ping looked gloomy and explained, "Didn't they say that Chun Yunxi is a little like my senior sister?" Wu Quishan frowned slightly and ignored him. No matter how similar they were, she was still someone else's daughter. Inside the room, Lu Fengru was not sure if she had heard it. She was still forcefully fusing the two forces. Fong Ping looked helpless. He did not need Wu Quishan to say anything and continued pouring in the life essence. At this moment, there were less than 30 grams left in the small bottle. "Instructor, I'm already rank 5. Rank 9 is only a matter of 1 or 2 years. I'll help you kill the Sky Gate City Lord sooner or later." "Really? Don't you know my cultivation speed? My internal organs are almost done honing. I'll be middle stage rank 5 in a few days. Reshaping the bloodline is a small matter. Rank 6 is just around the corner. After sealing the Sanjiao Gate, I might be rank 8 directly. It's really fast." "Shut up." Outside the room, a few people shouted at the same time, "F***CK. You're hurting me. Do you know that? You're hurting everyone." Inside the room, Lu Fengru's expression changed slightly. She was probably hurt. What Fong Ping said made sense. This little bastard might really be rank 8 soon. Fong Ping felt that it was still effective. He shouted again, "I've been avoiding rank 9 since I was rank 4. When I reach rank 7, killing a few rank 9s is easy. If you're still not satisfied, I'll help you beat up the Vice-Chancellor." Seeing that Wu Quishan was looking at him, Fong Ping said softly, "I'm comforting the instructor." It was true that Lu Fengru wanted to kill the Sky Gate City Lord, but it was impossible to say that she did not hate Wu Quishan. She had always felt that it was Wu Quishan's fault. He should not have brought his daughter into the catacombs. He should not have failed to stall the Sky Gate City Lord. Everyone else was dead or crippled. Only Wu Quishan was fine. This made Lu Fengru even more furious. If Wu Quishan was really dead or crippled, Lu Fengru would not hate him. If he was really crippled, Lu Fengru would not hate him. Seeing the change in Wu Quishan's expression and his silence, Fong Ping shouted again, "If beating him isn't enough, I'll help you break his legs." The corners of Wu Quishan's eyes twitched. "This is your true thoughts, right?" "Shut up." This was Lu Fengru's roar. After yelling, Lu Fengru shouted, "Is there any more? Pour more at once." Fong Ping's expression stiffened. "I don't have much left." Gritting his teeth, Fong Ping poured some more in. After some thought, he gritted his teeth and poured the rest in. The concentration of energy in the room instantly rose. Lu Fengru's 7 orifices were bleeding profusely, and her celestial bridge was much dimmer than before. "No more." Fong Ping looked at Wu Quishan and said helplessly, "Vice-Chancellor, why don't you try infusing some celestiality?" Wu Quishan frowned and said, "It's not that I don't want to, it's just that the power of heaven and earth is too domineering. She is forcefully trying to break through. Once I inject the power of heaven and earth and she forcefully absorbs it, it will easily collapse the bridge." Fong Ping pondered and said, "I can only try this. Using hardness to overcome hardness. Perhaps the power of life essence is too gentle, and it will not be able to fuse the two forces." Although Wu Quishan felt that it made sense, he was still hesitant and did not dare to try. If he really collapsed the celestial bridge, Fong Ping saw the situation and gritted his teeth. If it collapses, then so be it. At worst, I will drop to rank 3. Instructor has been stuck here. The more it is like this, the more extreme she is. If Lu Fengru had broken through a long time ago, she might not be as extreme as she was now. However, the more she could not break through, the more anxious, the more impatient, and the more extreme she was. Fong Ping felt that he might as well give it a try. If he could not break through, then he would collapse the celestial bridge. At worst, he would be heavily injured and drop to rank 3. Death. With Wu Quishan here, the probability of death was not high. If he dropped to rank 3, there would be no hope for revenge. Lu Fengru might not continue to be so extreme and wholeheartedly focus on breaking through. Seeing Wu Quishan's hesitation, Fong Ping said unhappily, indecisive, With a humph, Fong Ping said loudly, "Instructor, I will channel celestiality directly. You absorb it as much as you can. At worst, you will collapse the celestial bridge. Life and death are up to fate. When you achieve rank 3, I will protect you from now on." Inside the room, Lu Fengru spat out a mouthful of blood. It was unknown whether it was from anger or from the backlash. Beside her, Song Yingji's face was full of sorrow. MCMU was really different now. Fong Ping. Every word he said hurt people's hearts. Fong Ping did not care about them. He spoke casually, but his expression was extremely solemn. He took a deep breath and said, "Anyway, it's already like this. It depends on luck. If I achieve mentality-vitality fusion, if I lose, I will collapse the celestial bridge. It's no big deal." Having said that, Fong Ping quickly condensed a ball of celestiality in his hand. Wu Quishan and the others' expressions changed slightly. So fast, even old man Li was a little stunned. This kid condensed too quickly. Fong Ping could not be bothered to look at them. He directly channeled the celestiality in his hand into the funnel. This time, there was no explosion. As soon as celestiality entered the funnel, the walls trembled slightly for a moment. Then, a domineering force suddenly appeared in the room, pushing away the remaining life essence in the surroundings. Even Lu Fengru's celestial bridge began to tremble when it came into contact with this force. "Instructor, use celestiality to envelop the celestial bridge and press it inward. If it explodes, then it will shatter. If it doesn't explode, then it's time to fuse." Fong Ping. Wu Quishan's expression changed again and again. This matter concerned Lu Fengru. He could not do what Fong Ping did. Fong Ping turned his head to look at him and said in a low voice, "Let's take a gamble. Vice-Chancellor, do you really want Instructor to go to the catacombs every day and look for energy mines every day? If he falls to rank 3, then he can just retire." Wu Quishan's expression changed for a while. Suddenly, he gritted his teeth and condensed a celestiality that was much stronger than Fong Ping's in his hand. He slammed his palm into the funnel. At this moment, the walls of the cultivation room began to tremble. "Fengru, I will definitely kill the Sky Gate City Lord. Believe me, I definitely will." Wu Quishan's voice trembled. "Yes, I was useless back then. I couldn't protect Duo. It's all my fault. Duo is gone. It's not your fault. It's not because of you. I should be the one to blame, not you. Shut up." In the room, Lu Fengru opened her eyes instantly. She said angrily, "Get lost. Fengru, get lost." Wu Quishan looked pained. Fong Ping saw this and said immediately, "Instructor, ignore him. Absorb celestiality. Don't worry. It'll be fine even if the celestial bridge collapses. At most, we'll start all over again." "You shut up too." Lu Fengru was about to collapse from anger. Were these two bastards purposely trying to piss her off? Old man Li did not say a word. Song Yingji was also very embarrassed at this moment. It was supposed to be an important matter of breaking through to Grandmaster, but Fong Ping made it sound like a joke. "Instructor, then you should absorb it." Fong Ping said sorrowfully, "I've spent so much life essence on it. If you don't break through, I'll suffer a great loss. I might as well break through to rank 3. At least I don't think I've wasted my money. At least there's some effect, even if the effect isn't too good." "Shut up. It's really a lot of money. I've already poured half a caddy in, 500 grams. Even if I sell 1 gram for 10 million, people will buy it. It's 5 billion. Who wouldn't break through after spending 5 billion? Enough." Lu Fengru was about to collapse. Without another word, she began to absorb celestiality madly into the celestial bridge. Cracks appeared on the celestial bridge in an instant. Wu Quishan did not know what to say. Old Man Li and the rest looked like they were about to collapse too. At this time, you still have the mood to extort people? You really poured 500 grams? Fong Ping pretended not to see it. What did Lu Fengru know? She was inside anyway. Seeing that Lu Fengru's celestial bridge was starting to collapse, Fong Ping took a deep breath and said in a low voice, "Prepare for the worst. Save people first. Save their lives first." Everyone stopped talking. Since things had come to this, they could only take a gamble. Wu Quishan did not say anything either. He continued to condense celestiality and pour it into the funnel. In the cultivation room, large amounts of celestiality were being absorbed continuously. The dazzling celestiality bridge gradually dimmed. The cracks became more and more obvious. Lu Fengru did not care anymore. She continued to absorb forcefully. Inside the celestial bridge, under the forceful suppression of celestiality, the two forces gradually began to merge into one. However, this kind of fusion was like water and oil. Even if they were mixed together, they were still in a state of wei-wei. Seeing this, Fong Ping frowned again. He shouted, "Try detonating your mentality." Bang! Wu Quishan sent him flying with a kick. Anger was written all over his face. "Do you really want to kill your instructor?" Old Manly could not help but scold. "Shut up. Self-detonating mentality. Do you think everyone is like you? You will really die." However, it was too late. At this moment, Lu Fengru was already furious to the extreme. Since she could not break through, she would just die. As soon as Fong Ping's voice fell, a soft, muffled sound was heard. Kacha, a crisp cracking sound was heard. A small part of the celestial bridge collapsed instantly. In the remaining half, mentality was cut and self-detonated. This time, it really merged with vitality force. As for Lu Fengru, she was completely covered in blood. Large amounts of blood flowed out of her 7 orifices. Her body was swaying slightly. At this moment, Fong Ping ran back. Seeing the situation, he shouted, "It's fused. Fix it quickly." The life essence energy that had just been poured and had not been completely consumed yet. It was repelled to the side by celestiality. Lu Fengru's head was a little dizzy. She did not care much. She shook off the surrounding celestiality and began to absorb the life energy. The collapsed celestial bridge was also starting to be repaired. Wu Quishan, Old Man Li, and the rest were so nervous that their foreheads began to sweat. Old Man Li inhaled and exhaled. He turned to look at Fong Ping and said, "Continue pouring in some life essence. There's really no more." Fong Ping was speechless. There was no more. It's not enough. I'm afraid it can't be repaired. Old Man Li's eyebrows were tightly knitted. Wu Quishan looked worried too. If it was not repaired well, even if there was some fusion, the celestial bridge would collapse completely in no time. Not knowing what he was thinking, Old Man Li gritted his teeth. His palm cracked instantly. A bloody scar appeared. A large amount of blood began to seep into the funnel. Seeing this, Fong Ping also thought of something. He breathed a sigh of relief and said, "That's true. You're also considered half an energy person." Old Man Li ignored him. He had absorbed too much life essence that day. Until now, he had not finished using it. Right now, his vitality force was also mixed with a large amount of life energy. As for the effect, it was definitely slightly worse than pure, but not by much. A half-golden body powerhouse's vitality was already extremely powerful. Their recovery ability was strong. As a large amount of blood and vitality force seeped in, the collapsed celestial bridge's repair speed increased significantly. However, Old Man Li could not take it anymore. After all, he was not a ranked 8. At this moment, Wu Quishan seemed to have thought of something. He pushed Old Man Li away. His palm began to crack too. Some golden glow seeped into the funnel. Old Man Li's expression changed. He said in a low voice, "Imperishable substance." A rank 8 golden body powerhouse's body actually contained a large amount of imperishable substance. This was also the guarantee of a rank 8 golden body's strong recovery ability. Legend had it that even if a rank 8 golden body powerhouse was killed, as long as the imperishable substance was not completely obliterated, these imperishable substances would still gradually grow and recover themselves. Perhaps they could come back to life. Of course, this was only a rumor. This was because when the owner of the imperishable substance died, it was difficult to replenish it. It was difficult to continue growing. As for whether it could come back to life again, it was only a theoretical deduction. Perhaps it would take thousands of years, or even longer. Perhaps there was no way to come back to life at all. Legends were just legends after all. When Old Manly shouted, Fong Ping could not help but take a look. He only saw a faint golden glow. He did not feel too much. Imperishable substance? Fong Ping murmured. Was this thing really imperishable? Old Manly frowned. He said in a low voice, Old Wu, the imperishable substance was the foundation of a rank 8 golden body. Once it was depleted too much, not only was it difficult to recover, but it was also easy for the golden body to be incomplete. Take the old vice-chancellor, for example. After many years of fighting, too much of the imperishable substance had been obliterated. Hence, he had always been seriously injured, and it was difficult for him to recover. Wu Quishan did not say anything. As the imperishable substance surged in, his face turned pale. Inside the room, Lu Fengru's celestial bridge gradually began to condense again under the influx of many streams of energy. As the imperishable substance surged out and was absorbed, in the next moment, Lu Fengru's celestial bridge emitted a faint golden glow. Gather! A loud roar sounded. Inside the room, Lu Fengru was bathed in blood. However, the celestial bridge outside her body emitted a brilliant glow. Immediately after, a gush of celestiality emerged inside the celestial bridge. It was not Wu Quishan or Fong Ping who inserted it. It was her own. Boom! An explosion sounded. The cultivation room began to tremble. Lu Fengru's mentality and vitality force emerged again. This time, they did not go through the celestial bridge. Instead, they emerged outside her body. Immediately after, the two forces merged instantly. A gush of celestiality appeared, replacing the other forces. It's done! Fong Ping's face lit up. It was done. She had fused. Seeing this scene, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Old Man Li pushed Wu Quishan away. If he continued to infuse the imperishable substance, he might not even be able to maintain his golden body. Wu Quishan's face was pale. He did not say anything. He looked inside the room, a weak smile on his face. Fused! Song Yingji, who was beside him, also began to breathe heavily. It was done. It was not easy. Life essence, celestiality, imperishable substance. The difficulty of Lu Fengru's mentality-vitality fusion was simply mind-blowing. If everyone was like her, there might not be many human grandmasters. How could there be so much life essence to expend? How could there be so many rank 8 powerhouses who would disregard their own health and even infuse a rank 8's foundation existence? In the cultivation room, Lu Fengru opened her eyes again. Seeing her celestial bridge, which seemed to be emitting a golden glow, she frowned slightly. No one knew what she was thinking, but her expression kept changing. After a slight pause, Lu Fengru did not heal herself. Instead, she stepped out of the cultivation room. Seeing the few people outside, she swept her gaze over them one by one. Finally, her gaze landed on Wu Quishan, whose face was still pale. She let out a soft humph and strode away. Fong Ping was stunned for a moment. He said hurriedly, Instructor, I forgot to ask. How many shares do you have in the pill company? Lu Fengru's footsteps halted. The next moment, she did not stop at all, leaving in an instant. This little bastard. What was going on in his head? Fong Ping saw that she was leaving in a hurry. He could not help but say, What is this? We agreed on exchanging shares for life essence. The other three pretended not to hear him. Wu Quishan and Old Man Li left in an instant too. Although Song Yingji could not leave, he did not look at Fong Ping anymore. He returned to his own station and started playing games. Of course, his heart was not so calm. Lu Fengru had not entered Grandmaster yet, but now that the mentality-vitality fusion was completed with the strength of her mentality, she could materialize it very soon. MCMU was going to have another Grandmaster. Song Yingji did not know whether he was happy or sad. Not long after the old Vice-Chancellor left, MCMAU had 2 more Grandmasters. MCMAU's high-end strength was finally not weak anymore. But why was there still a hint of sadness? He glanced at Fong Ping from the corner of his eye. The sadness probably came from this kid. He always felt that he was unreliable. Now that this kid's instructor was about to break through, and Li Chongqing was also supporting him, MCMEU had really changed. 5 high grandmasters, he murmured in his heart. If Tang Feng broke through again, then there would be 6 high grandmasters, surpassing CCMU's 5. Yesterday, when Fong Ping said that grandmasters had broken through 2 digits, everyone might not have believed him. But now, there were already 6 grandmasters or powerhouses who were about to become grandmasters. As for the other 4, this kid Fong Ping maybe he could reach them soon? As for the remaining 3, the few peak rank 16s might not stand a chance. Or perhaps they would appear among the new generation of powerhouses. Chapter 399. December 27th, Lu Fengru completed Mentality Vitality Fusion. The news was not disclosed to the public. Fong Ping felt that there was no need to disclose it until Lu Fengru had reached rank 7. Lu Fengru's mentality was above 900 Hz, and her vitality was complete. She could officially become a rank 7 powerhouse in 3 to 5 months. December 28th, Zhao Xuemei sent a share transfer agreement. 100 shares? Fong Ping was dumbfounded. What was going on? So little? He was not surprised that Lu Fengru asked Zhao Xuemei to send a share transfer agreement. Lu Fengru was like this. What surprised Fong Ping was that he had always thought that Lu Fengru would have a lot of shares in the pill company. The pill company was not listed. A monopolistic enterprise like this did not need to be listed. However, 100 shares was too little. It did not match Lu Fengru's father's status as a grandmaster. Zhao Xuemei's gaze was complicated. You don't know the situation of the pill company, do you? Since its establishment, after a few stock increases, the total capital stock is only 200,000 shares. The pill company's actual value is probably more than 10 trillion. Yes, 10 trillion. It was that scary. The pill company was too profitable. Moreover, it was a monopoly. Its annual sales were astronomical. The value of each share was probably no less than 50 million. The pill company did not give out many shares. The value of a single share was so high. Actually, those who held the shares would not sell them. In fact, it was very difficult to sell them. Those who were strong did not need them. Those who were weak might not be able to get the pill company's approval. If it was a gift, it could avoid some problems. 100 shares would probably be worth no less than 5 billion. Lu Fengru's annual dividends from the pill company would not be less than 100 million. This was the lowest case. Sometimes she could get a few hundred million in dividends. The profits were huge. Fong Ping swallowed. So valuable? 100 shares was worth 5 billion. Did old Lu really believe it? He said that he poured 500 grams in. In reality, it was not that much. 200 grams was the limit. Thinking of this, Fong Ping suddenly said, "Right. Do you know how many shares our university has in the pill company?" Zhao Xuemei shook her head. How would she know? Fong Ping did not say anything. He took out his phone and made a call. Teacher Zhang, how many shares does MCMU have in the pill company? 800 shares. So little? As Fong Ping said that, he thought of something again. After calculating for a while, he said immediately, it's worth more than 40 billion. It's not a small amount. Thinking about it this way, Lu Fengru's father was able to get 100 shares back then, which was quite a lot. After all, one was an individual and the other was MCMAU. The two could not be compared. MCMAU might not have 8 grandmasters, but MCMAU had so many instructors and students. In the past, almost all of their annual gains from the catacombs had been provided to a few major companies in exchange for 800 shares. After thanking him, Fong Ping hung up. In the past, the pill company would supply us with a batch of pills every year. It sounds like it's worth a lot, but the actual cost shouldn't be more than 1 billion. Now that we've expanded our production lines, the raw materials that MCMAU is providing to the other party are decreasing. The pill company might not continue to supply us with pills for free. Fong Ping paced back and forth for a while. After some thought, he said, "What do you think about selling all these shares now?" "Sold?" Zhao Xuemei was surprised. "What about the future? Will the university agree to it?" Fong Ping said he would sell them without hesitation. After all, this was the foundation that countless MCMAU instructors and students had laid down over the years. "If we sell them for 40 to 50 billion, it's enough to cover the pill company's supply for the next few decades. I'm worried that if we don't sell them now, we might not be able to get any money in the future." After saying that, Fong Ping frowned and said, "Not just the pill company, but the weapons company too." There were three major companies: pills, weapons, and energy. MCMAU did not have any shares in the energy company. The energy company did not have much interest in MCMAU, because most of the energy stones that MCMAU obtained were used for their own use. If they sold the shares of these two companies, they might be able to get 100 billion worth of wealth. The problem was, could they sell them? Would the two major companies agree? If they could get 100 billion worth of wealth, in addition to the 40 billion allocated next year, some of MCMU's own business profits, and other income, the university's liquidity might reach as high as 150 billion by next year. With that much money, they could do a lot of things. They could expand their own industry, increase the instructors' benefits, increase the subsidies for students, recruit more new students, and hire a batch of middle-ranked instructors. More than 100 billion was more than enough. Thinking of this, Fong Ping could not help but think, if he were to take all of it, would he not have 100 billion wealth points? Shaking his head, Fong Ping stopped thinking about it. Looking at the gift agreement on the table, Fong Ping did not say much. He did not even mention that he did not want it. Lu Fengru had no use for money. She could use it to make more money. When he earned enough wealth points, he could share some of the good stuff with old Lu in the future. Seeing that Fong Ping was deep in thought, Zhao Xuemei said softly, "I'll go back first." Fong Ping. Fong Ping raised his head. Zhao Xuemei swallowed the words she was about to say and forced a smile. "It's all right. Congratulations on becoming the University Council's Secretary General." "It's nothing." Fong Ping laughed and said, "You should also cultivate hard and strive to achieve upper stage rank 3 as soon as possible. It should be soon." Today, among the sophomores, Chen Yunxi and Zhao Lei were both upper stage rank 3. Just 2 days ago, Fu Chanding had also achieved upper stage rank 3. Yang Xiaoman was still a little behind, but she would be there soon. The remaining people like Zhao Xuemei and Tang Jingsong were also middle stage rank 3. Their cultivation speed was also extremely fast. By the next semester, these people would probably enter upper stage or peak rank 3 one after another. Compared to the previous years, it was really much faster. This had something to do with a series of changes in the university. Credits were easier to obtain, and many people even borrowed from the university. Right now, they were all cultivating hard. It had only been half a semester among the freshmen, but there were already a few rank 2s and many rank 1s. MCMEU was becoming stronger at a speed visible to the naked eye. Fong Ping actually knew that it was not that he had done very well. He did not actually change anything. He only changed the way he did it. In the past, MCMU actually had the capital to cultivate a large number of student powerhouses, but the university was not built overnight. It was a long-term thing. Many resources were hoarded and not all of them were used. As for Fong Ping, he was actually overdrafting some things in the future. For example, the shares of the pill company and the weapons company. These were originally industries that would last for decades or even centuries in the future. However, Fong Ping wanted to sell them directly in exchange for improving his current strength. In Fong Ping's opinion, there were more and more catacombs. Who knew what would happen in the future? Instead of counting on long-term development in the future, it was better to cash in now and improve everyone's strength as soon as possible. The stronger one's strength was, the more initiative they would have in the upcoming changes. Zhao Xuemei's eyes dimmed again when she heard Fong Ping mention her strength. She had improved very quickly. She was a once-honed student who was not too far behind Zhao Lei and the others in the 3 lower ranks. In reality, it was not easy. However, compared to middle stage rank 3, the gap was too big. Next semester, There was hope for her to enter upper stage rank 3. Peak rank 3 might only be in her junior year. Even if she entered rank 4 in her junior year, she might still be rank 4 after graduation. By then, what rank would Fong Ping be? Thoughts flashed through Zhao Xuemei's mind. Finally, she revealed a smile and said, "All right, I will cultivate hard and strive not to be a burden to everyone." Zhao Xuemei did not stay for long and left quickly. Fong Ping did not have time to think about this. Holding the gift agreement, he thought for a while and strode out of the dormitory. "You want to sell the shares?" Vice-Chancellor's office. Huang Jing frowned slightly. Wu Quishan's vitality was greatly damaged yesterday. Now he had gone in a closed-door cultivation. This time, it was a real closed-door cultivation, not a breakthrough to rank 9 like Fong Ping said. "Yes," Fong Ping said softly. "We've already offended a few major companies. What's the point of keeping it if we don't sell it?" But, as Huang Jing said that, he suddenly said, "I'm just afraid that we won't be able to sell it. If the pill and weapon companies don't agree, we have no right to buy or sell it." Fong Ping laughed. "Then let's do it. We've already come to this point. We're not afraid of offending them anymore. If it really doesn't work, then we won't provide any raw materials for the two major companies anymore. Also, we won't deduct the annual dividends from pills and weapons. We'll pay them in cash." Huang Jing frowned. Things would get out of hand this way. The offense now was only done in secret. Everyone had not shed all pretense of cordiality. However, if Fong Ping made a scene like this, they would really shed all pretense of cordiality. "Fong Ping, is this really necessary?" Fong Ping nodded. "It's not necessary. It's just that I'm preparing to continue recruiting new students. There are indeed more places to spend money. Next year, I'm planning to recruit 3,000 people. After that, it'll be the same every year. Let the number of students in the university exceed 10,000. As he said that, Fong Ping continued, "With more people, the subsidies will be bigger, and we'll spend more money. This won't do. Dean, cough cough, Vice-Chancellor, based on the current situation, how long do you think the stalemate between us and the catacombs can last? In the past, it was always one city against another. But recently, there have been changes in many places. First, it was Magic City Catacombs. Then it was Nanjiang Catacombs. I heard that the other catacombs are not too stable now. In addition, there was a huge change in the Tianan Catacombs previously. The situation is already different. If we say that the catacombs were training us before, then now there's a trend of a large-scale attack. Maybe some change in the higher-ups has caused the situation to collapse. I'm guessing that it might have something to do with the monster life and monster plant clans. Or other changes have happened. Vice-Chancellor, do you understand these things?" Huang Jing frowned slightly. After a while, he said, "Actually, I felt what you said. However, I'm only MCMEU's Vice-Chancellor after all. There are some things that I haven't touched on. The deterioration of the situation might have something to do with the higher-ups." As he said that, Huang Jing seemed a little hesitant. Still, he said, previously the change in the Tianan catacombs was because a peerless powerhouse had fallen. Huh? Fong Ping's pupils constricted. What did he mean? Our peerless powerhouse? Rank 9? Rank 9 Paragon. Huang Jing said in a low voice. In 08, a rank 9 Paragon died unexpectedly. I don't know what happened exactly, but after that powerhouse died, the war in Tianan broke out. It might have broken the balance. Huang Jing exhaled and continued. As for the change in the monster life and monster plant clans that you mentioned, I don't really understand it either. Maybe you're right. Previously, West Phoenix City had some intentions of joining the war in the Magic City Catacombs. Maybe this is a signal. Fong Ping frowned. Is there a huge difference between a rank 9 Paragon powerhouse and a normal rank 9 powerhouse? Very. Huang Jing said in a low voice. Let's put it this way. If a rank 9 Paragon powerhouse goes up against a normal rank 9, even if it's 1 against 3 or 5, he might still be able to kill all of them. It might even be more than that. I don't know the specific comparison. Back then, when Commander Lee fought 1 against 3 and killed a rank 9, He had just entered a desperate situation. Do you understand? Moreover, the 3 rank 9s he fought with were not the weakest rank 9s. All 3 of them came from the depths of the catacombs. In fact, they are much stronger than the Castellans we've met now. Even so, the 3 of them joined forces, and one of them was still killed by Commander Lee. If not for some scruples, all of them might have been killed. If Commander Lee fought with those Castellans, he might be able to kill them very quickly. You have to know that it's very difficult to kill a rank 9. This is a process of qualitative change. I don't know about the rest of the 13 cities in Magic City Catacombs, but if the Skygate City Lord meets Commander Lee, he might not last 3 moves. Fong Ping's expression changed. The difference was too big. A rank 9 could not last 3 moves in the hands of another rank 9. Commander Lee is so strong. Even a rank 9 Paragon is so strong. How many rank 9 Paragon powerhouses are there in Sino Nation? Probably not Alliance leader Zhao, then the 7 above him. I don't know. Huang Jing shook his head, saying bitterly, "Don't be fooled by our strength. Just like rank 7s and rank XXS. In the eyes of those Paragon powerhouses, we might be the same or even weaker. They won't tell us some things. Moreover, MCMAU is just a school after all, not a real Sino Nation leadership organization. If you want to know about these, I'm afraid you'll need to step into this level to truly understand everything." Huang Jing exhaled softly, continuing, "The catacombs didn't go all out previously. It should have something to do with these Paragon powerhouses. The incident in Tiannan stemmed from the fall of a Paragon powerhouse. I don't know what the current situation is either. You said that a great war will break out soon. Maybe that's the truth. Actually, we've considered these before. Now that the government is gradually guiding public opinion, it's also a clear proof. The pressure is coming. Otherwise, the previous policies were all closed off. At that time, it shouldn't be the time to be nervous. Don't think that there's a big gap between us and the other party, that we're at a disadvantage, but the government still has the confidence. Now the confidence is somewhat lacking." Fong Ping frowned again, saying slightly irritably, "They're hiding everything. We can only rely on guessing. What's the use of guessing? At the end of the day, they still think that we're too weak. It's useless even if we know. But is not telling us necessarily a good thing? We don't know how the peak combat strength compares. We don't know the details of the catacombs. We don't know what the catacombs' objective is. They only know to make us risk our lives. Only know to say that they're protecting humans, fighting for humans. Is it interesting? Also, what's the situation with the evil sex? Since Sino Nation has powerhouses stronger than rank 9, why haven't they exterminated the evil sex? Could it be that the evil sex also have powerhouses of this level? When I reach this level, I'll settle the score with them sooner or later." Huang Jing did not know whether to laugh or cry. Maybe when you reach this level, you'll also want to hide it from everyone, just like now. Have you thought of revealing the catacombs to your family? Fong Ping's tone faltered. That was true. Right now, his family was already worried about him, but at least they did not know about the catacombs, so they were at ease. If he said that there were a lot of powerhouses in the catacombs, and countless martial artists died every year, then his family might not be able to eat or sleep well. Fong Ping took a deep breath, humphed, and said, "It's okay to hide it from others, but people like us should know. No matter what, I'm still the most talented martial artist of this era. You'll have to wait until you reach rank 7 first." He had not even reached rank 7. In the eyes of those people, perhaps he was just a child, and Fong Ping was indeed a child. As parents, they did not want their children to be under too much pressure. They would be crushed. Those peak powerhouses might also have the same mentality. "Anyway, I'm not happy," Fong Ping complained, and then said, "Forget it, let's not think about it for now. Since you think so too, then it's imperative to sell the shares. Anyway, the 2 major companies have money. If it really doesn't work, they can give us a batch of pills and weapons to offset it. Of course, we'll have to do it at cost price. If we can get our hands on so many pills and weapons, MCMU's strength will increase a lot again." Having said that, Fong Ping suddenly said, "Oh right, last time I provided a batch of books to the military department. Have they been translated? Vice Chancellor, help me urge them, see if I can get some information." Other things aside, at least I have to understand the situation in Magic City's catacombs clearly. Every time I'm muddle-headed, I'll be tricked to death sooner or later. If one day I accidentally provoke a rank 9 Paragon powerhouse, according to what you said, no matter how fast I run, I'll still be killed with one slap. I have to be careful. Huang Jing was speechless. You're really something, kid? You're just a rank 5 martial artist. And now you're thinking of provoking a powerhouse of this level. You really don't know how to spell the word death. All right, I'll urge them for you. Also, remember to do a body checkup. About aura control, you have to explain clearly so that people don't find excuses for trouble. As for the shares, I'll test the 2 major companies' attitudes first, then we'll see how to deal with it. All right, then I'll leave first. If Vice Chancellor has nothing to do, when you're free, go to the cultivation room and provide some celestiality for everyone. After saying that, Fong Ping strode away. Huang Jing gritted his teeth so hard that they were about to break. You're really something, kid, asking me to do this? Don't I cultivate? He had suggested it, and now he was being tricked into becoming a supply. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.